Hey,
And not just
we're live
just
now.
not kids, just
Everyone,
fully
it's
grown adults.
oh, will you two Neanderthals stop talking for a moment? Jesus Christ.
I agree
Anyway,
if they go in the chat. No, you.
no you. Anyway, welcome to Dev Server 1.89, the Imperial Navy, and by that I literally mean the Imperial Navy. Rejoice, you fucking weebs. Anyway, the Imperial Japanese Navy is here. Here we're looking at the IJN Furitaka.
I like to call it the furry taco.
Yeah, the Furitaka, aka a heavy cruiser. Yes, there are now heavy cruisers in War Thunder and a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of surprises right now that I didn't expect. Where the fuck is this gun going? Okay, if I can shoot something for a moment. Okay. Oh. Okay, never mind. I shot something. It exploded. That poor boat is now gone. But the Furitaka here is one of the biggest boats here. I just kind of wanted to show that off quick. But we're going to do, if you've come to a dev server stream beforehand, you'll probably know what's up here. And that is, there are lots of, I just kind of run through the vehicles, give you a nice, good look through. In here. Oh, look, magnificent sped going fucking weeps. Yep, so the Imperial Japanese Navy is here, but there's actually a lot of surprise vehicles that I didn't think would be coming into the game. So we're going to be looking at those. Of course, we're going to go in the normal order of left to right on the screen from the US to France. Some nations didn't get that much, but why would they need any more? I'm looking at the next two nations. Anyway.
Hey.
So I am joined here for the time being with the Gopnik Czar and Prepquel, our local ship host. Yeah, Mister, I fell asleep on the last stream. If you got 1.87, it's when every time we get the British stuff, he just gets bored and falls asleep because he's an Aussie.
British stuff. I sleep. Gets to Germany, I awake.
Absolute woke. So today, I don't know if is there anything fleet wise. Okay, so US doesn't have anything fleet wise. I don't have any patch server notes, unfortunately, so we're flying kind of blind. We're just gonna we're gonna start with aircraft though. Looking down here, looking for the big old yellow stripe. First and foremost, the A&M Martin Mauler. So the competitor to the 80s, to the Douglas Skyraider. So this plane was, while albeit it carried a massive bomb load for its time, the aircraft had a lot of teething issues in service, and then it was withdrawn. However, it was infamously known for having a massive bomb load, and true to form, it has a very massive amount of armament it can carry. Though obviously, I don't think it's going to carry all of that armament in real life, or its real life capability, except for the fact that it does also carry 3 torpedoes at the same time. That's actually
Caesar lone battleship. Eyes start glowing red.
Yep, Martin Mauler Squadron. Oh yeah.
Is that it's time to aim for the poor fucker's rudder. Eyes glow red.
Yep. So the Martin Mauler is the biggest plane. It is absolutely thick. I'm also thick.
Extra thick.
Wait, hello? Oh, I wasn't ordering pizza, unfortunately. However, as we do the boring game of let's throw as many friggin' Golden Eagles as possible at this plane so that's spaded, because why fly it stock when it has all this armament? Also, we get to look at the armament too. Anyway, so let's get a look at... Okay, that is actually scary. You're basically running around with a triple torpedo launcher. That's just with wings. That's absolutely terrifying, and that's how we're gonna fly it out, because there's no way else we're gonna fly that out other than to fly it out with triple torpedoes.
American cast is suffering.
Yep. American cast is suffering. Interesting. This aircraft has to take off. Doesn't take off from a carrier. Probably because it's too fat.
By the way, you took the carburetor off of the aircraft.
Ah, screw it. We're doing it live. Okay, we're doing it live.
Is that the late model torpedoes, or are they the
I think they're late model
war?
torpedoes, because this was a post-war aircraft. This was immediately post-war. Same thing with the Skyraider.
Well, if you can drop
you
them at
uninstalled
like 500.
compressor, John. Yeah, I know. They sent us the wrong compressor. That's why I had to uninstall it.
What is this?
So, this is a very big plane. One thing, and of course, loaded down. It is probably not gonna be as maneuverable, I guess. But the one thing I
remember, guys, John forgot to build a compressor.
Yeah, I forgot to build the compressor. Unfortunately, had to go buy it off the gadget market.
Yeah, didn't have enough parts. Didn't get the drops.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so there. You know, the one thing I wish that they would add to the naval maps, they need to add at least a couple of naval, like a map here. They need to at least add a naval target that isn't friendly to see what it does. So, unfortunately,
Japanese carrier or Wake Island heresy.
Something, I don't know, but we're just gonna come in low here and. Okay, so the torpedoes drop one at a time, apparently. That's scary. Up, and the carrier moved out of the way. I'm a brilliant person.
How do you miss a stationary target?
It's not stationary, it's moving!
It's moving at like 5 knots.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Neom. Okay, it hit something. Okay, so now free of the torpedoes. And because it already flies with those, I guess, what is it, with the bomb pylons anyway. It's not particularly fast, but it does. Of course, it was designed to the same specifications and needs as the Skyraider, and it was a good plane. Again, I think the issue with it in real life was it just had too many teething issues. In real life.
I think everyone's gonna start bitching at why can't the 82 and the 84 carry this many torps now?
Guys, yeah, because the 82 and the 84 were actually smaller aircraft, to my knowledge. Let's get a. Oh, this thing does not have a cockpit yet. So, by the way, it's our normal disclosure here that this is a dev server. Therefore, everything is subject to change. And there are still stuff that is work in progress, like maybe, especially when it comes to tanks and armor, when we get around to looking at that. Oh boy, so let's not lollygag too much here. Flew it around, dropped a couple of torps. Let's look at what other bomb loads, or at least what it looks like with other bomb loads attached, like having, oh god, it can carry rockets and have torpedoes. That's
American cast is suffering, boys. American cast is suffering. Please add back the ability where H-Bars can nuke anything.
Oh god, that is terrifying. 12 250-pound bombs and a 2,000-pounder.
Oh no.
The Martin Mauler is living up to its name in game, that's for sure. Of course, the standard loadout of 2 Tiny Tims and a bunch of fucking rockets. That's normal.
Can you put the compressor back on the aircraft?
Oh yeah. There we wait. There we go.
Hey, pretty cool.
Yep. So 500-pound bombs and a bunch of rockets. Also, let's put that in the list here. The AM1. Just a quick look at what is it? A quick look at the size difference between the AM1 and a Skyraider. Doesn't really matter. So
hey, pretty cool.
So here's the AM1. Here's the Skyraider. Actually, they're about the same size. About the same size, except that the Skyraider issued with the fancy nose spinner, because you know it's Douglas. Why did they need the nose spinner? It's a close air support aircraft, not a fighter. Anyway, so that is the Martin Mauler. However, course, what else is there in the tree? Suspiciously, there's a yellow striped new premium vehicle that's just sitting there. I don't know how many golden eagles it's worth, but for a lot of us, this has been a long time coming. The A2D1 Sky Shark. Yes, the turboprop Sky Rider. So this was a project to place a turboprop engine. In this case, it's a two turboprops engines.
It's two jet engines.
Who just describe?
It's two jet engines.
Is it Boko 28 or Coco 28? Either way, thanks for subscribing. So 2 turbojet engines, contra-rotating props. It is a turboprop Sky Raider, for lack of a better term.
And they couldn't put anything better in it than AMN3s.
Yep. So its bomb load, while smaller, it is a much faster aircraft overall. Should be faster overall because it has turboprops. Still carries a very respectable bomb load. It even carries 2 torpedoes. So good bomb load, more tactical usage than I would say, flying around. Oh God, it still can carry a lot of rock. It can carry 20 HVARs and 2,000-pound bombs. Okay, that's actually scary. As a premium, that is horrifyingly scary. We have to fly it with that bomb load on just to see how it goes, because if it can't fly well with this type of bomb load, then I don't know. But this is again. Oh man, the sound of that.
What are those 20 mils? They're T-31s.
I think they're the same 20 mils as I think they're the naval 20 mils. They're also used on the what is it? God, I'm forgetting stuff today. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. I think they're the same ones on the FJs, but can't be sure. Wait. Let's get a gander around the cockpit. It is very noisy. So, look at that cockpit. It's very nice. As you can see.
Press all the buttons.
Press all the buttons. Anyway.
3 minutes of fuel. Okay.
Oh, that's a problem. Oh, that. Thanks for telling me.
It must be fast if it only has
Bushido
that much
Fun
fuel.
says, stopped by to say hello, hope you have fun. I'll need to work. Well, you'll watch the stream later because, yeah, it'll be available as a VOD here. Later, wait, it was set for 20 minutes of fuel. How the hell did I only have 3?
It ate that much fuel.
Well, that's not good.
American engines at its finest, boys.
Yeah, so 800 rounds of cannon ammo, that's actually a lot. One thing I will say, though, immediately taking off. I set it for realistic, right?
Yes. It's way too quick right now.
With the amount of bomb load on, that is actually scary. Again, work in progress. Seemingly, I would imagine it's not supposed to accelerate that quickly off an airfield, but that is actually terrifying. I could see this thing going from 4.7 to like 5.3 in a heartbeat.
6.7.
No, not
6.7. I could see it 6.7 as well.
Yeah, also the acceleration on this thing is fucking broken as fuck.
If they keep it like that, it's easily a 6.7.
Yeah. This thing should not be accelerating this quickly. That is ridiculous. Holy hell. Flying vacuum cleaner Mark II Mur conversion. Hashtag nerf better nerf American forces. 15 gallons per mile.
Watch everyone take no bombs on that thing and just turn it into a fighter plane because, lol.
Can. And let's see. T-55A. Goodbye. Oh. Well. That happened. Remember, kids, use a bomb delay.
God damn it, John.
Okay, so I actually should have tested it while I was doing it earlier. Okay. Colin Doles goes to Salty Frenching. Your waifu is bread. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Your waifu is bread. What are you, Gavin Free and soggy bread? What?
You said the fuel. You said the fuel to 20 minutes. I wonder what would happen. set it to 13.
No, it
'Cause it
was
said option
originally
of 13.
16. Let's get rid of the
Oh, well.
bombs and fly out as far away from those as possible. Those are terrifying.
Well, it said when you change the fuel, you could change it down to 16. 16
Yeah.
probably gives you a minute 50 of fuel.
So we're just
Oh my
leashing
God.
the rockets. Yeah, this thing is...
Oh, it is.
Okay, I'm not even gonna web. Let's just see how fast this thing goes without web. It's
It is way too fast. Way too fast.
It's let's see here. We're about to hit 700 here. My hands are off the controls here. I'm just letting it fly. And 700 kilometers, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fuck. And now the ultimate test of American durability is being able to friggin' use flaps. Well, I broke the flaps. That's not good. But it's a prototype. As I remember, though, the aircraft in real life, I think the test pilot actually got killed when the engines cut out, and he had to do a dead stick land. Okay, we're not gonna land this. Oh god. Oh boy.
A lot of the aircraft that did equip this turboprop had a lot of problems.
Yeah, look at the fuel for starters.
Yes, the fuel is one very fine example. That this
Okay,
engine...
this is not how you land on the carrier, but for the matter of the fact that it handled a fucked landing really well, I think you'll be fine when you have to deal with bad things going on.
Looks like someone isn't taking Iron Armenian's job anytime soon.
Of course not. Salty Frenchie goes, boy, we like garlic and backstabbing. Mental gin. Okay, so now that is American aircraft for now. So the Martin Mauler and the Sky Shark as a premium, which honestly that was coming from a mile away, or many miles
Very
away.
heavily subject to change.
Yeah, very heavily subject to change. That thing is friggin' broken. Like that. As much as I love this aircraft, as much as I've wanted it in the game, that is friggin' broken, and it should not have that type of performance. That flight model is definitely work in progress.
It is close to a jet model than it is to a prop model, seriously.
Anyway.
The thing could probably outperform a F-84.
Yep. Anyway, American armor, on the other hand, while we're here, in the form of the Bradley ADATs. So the Bradley ADATs was a tent, was something that it was, I think it was a Swiss project, if I'm right. It was an attempt to put,
Swiss.
yeah, it was an attempt to create basically a multi-purpose infantry fighting vehicle that can fight off air attacks and enemy tanks. Yes, enemy tanks. That's what ADAT stands for. Air Defense Anti-Tank System. So, as it is, the U.S. was slated to buy nearly 400 of these things at one point. I don't care about the Ontos. Go away. Let's just throw... I guess I'll just throw some research into the T-32E1. Which is that T-32E1 that's really nice, all things considered. So the the platform, while it was interesting, apparently the U.S. found that it did not perform well in certain weather environments, and eventually the contract was canceled, as with everything. However, the Canadians up north adopted a few of these things, so still a North American vehicle of use. So
they
this
didn't use the Bradley
giant,
chassis.
yeah. However, so the Bradley ADAT, so replacing the original turret with this monstrosity, which carries the 25 millimeter cannon, and the missiles are MIM 146 anti-tank guided missiles, which are also air-to-air missiles as well.
What he's saying basically that they're stingers.
Yep. Probably.
You should have just said they were stingers. That's all you had to say.
It's under the Sergeant York.
This is why I'm a pilot, not a tanker. Anyway, so let's look inside the crew. So you have the loader, who's he's just looking out the rear of the thing for some fucking reason. Hey, buddy, that's not where you're... The fucking aircraft are in the sky, not to the back of the tank. What are you shooting at?
He's got to bail out the back door and put those rockets up onto the side of the tank under fire. He's in the right position.
He's in the right position. The gunner has a computer, which is a vertical aiming drive. At some point, they'll probably make that a separate module, but this is War Thunder. I'm not expecting it to be the super most accurate game ever. I expect it to be realistic and authentic, but still a fuck ton of fun when you're really bored. Regardless. Anyway, so there is definitely no people in the turret, so shooting the turret of this thing will not kill the vehicle. So you're pretty much, if you stay hold down, if you can somehow manage to be hold down, it's a friggin' one-story building of a vehicle rolling around, you should be fine. Unless somehow it gets hull broken. Anyway, let's bring it out to the test drive. Also, it has has 2 different belts, an air-to-air belt and a armor-piercing belt with a practical penetration of 95 millimeters onto a flat surface at 500 meters, which is good, but not great.
No DU belt.
Yeah.
Oof.
Give a DU belt.
All right. So,
Yeah.
let's see here. We'll wait until he comes back around because, first and foremost, there is a T-64. Wait, when did the T-64B get a whole frig ton of ERA? Huh?
It's always had that.
Yeah, about 3 patches ago.
Oh well, fire in the rocket.
3 patches ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
About 3 patches ago.
that blast
I had,
cleared
you know,
the ERA. Let's fire another one. Yeah, boom.
It's alright, Gobnik. We just make John feel
Here we
stupid
go.
when
As
say
we
that.
see the Russian tank out in its wild habitat, throwing its turret upon being scared.
Asks when the oh, they finally fixed the contact. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So, here we go. Now have also, of course, this vehicle does come with radar. A radar that is literally on crack. Let's see. Oh wait. I missed. And this is why I'm not that great with air-to-air stuff.
By the way, the
However, the 20 millimeter, the
broken.
25 millimeter cannon. Well, there goes that MiG-15.
It's a bad cannon. Changed my mind.
Not the worst cannon in the world, but it does the job, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's no warrior cannon, but
Yeah.
it's pretty bad as cannons go.
But
for-
yes, of course, this thing is definitely not to be trifled with. We might do some testing later, with certain tanks. We're not
Does
a
anyone
nation
feel
that should
tempted-
not be named, but Bradley, I would imagine that Miles will probably be better at talking about the tanks. I'm just doing I'm showing you the vehicle. Let's check it out. Let's check out its mobility because, of course, at some point you have to yell at the fat, lazy American to move. Which basically
I
is
feel
what
like
this
this is
thing
going
is.
to be Tunguska 2.0.
Or just tell that country next to it has oil.
JonMan,
It'll
it's
move
the Steve
eventually.
Irwin of the battlefields. Oi! Crikey! There's a T-55A out there. I wonder what's gonna do when I fire a fucking missile. That was terrible.
Yes,
Apologies.
it was. You should feel fucking bad. You discount fucking Chinaman.
Okay, that's enough. Apologies to the country of Australia. I don't know.
That ain't
No,
gonna
I don't
do
know
it,
what's
John.
word.
You need
I
to
don't
give
know
me
what's
a
word.
1,000 golden eagles now.
Oh, hush you, Prime Minister of shitposting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is the Bradley ADATS. It is an air to AA vehicle, SPAA. So it's after that. So you better hope you have your gun, air defense, artillery, self-propelled 40 millimeter M247 Sergeant York researched. Like, oh, come for fuck's sake! At
that is
least you could
stupid
say,
name.
at least you could say ADATS. ADATS is so much easier than that. Really. Sometimes I wonder what the designations, who comes up with these designations.
Please go back to Simple Times USK. Thanks.
Yes. No new helis for good reason, probably.
I miss popping
and no
Sherman
new
tanks
ships.
with a Tiger.
So, yeah, no new ships. But considering the firepower of the USS Brooklyn, I don't think it's necessarily going to lose in a firefight duel with certain
Add an
other
Atlanta.
ships. Yeah, if they add the Atlanta.
We need Atlanta.
Yep.
Intensify our Atlanta memes.
Yep. Anyway, now we're moving on to Germany, and clearly they don't have any new ships. Let's see if they have anything else here. No, I don't see
Yeah,
any.
America got nothing other than air and that one tank.
And that one tank. No new Hullies.
Can we even call it a
no
tank?
fleets.
Can we just call it the Destroyer of Worlds?
Well, I guess we could pass over, except that there is a vehicle that we must look at, and that is the America bomber, the ME-264. So the one, what is it? The first truly proper 4-engined heavy bomber, as in 4 separate engines, not a misbegotten hunk of steel that is those weird combined engines on the Heinkel 2, was it 177 and the J288. So this is the first true proper heavy bomber for the Germans at a battle rating of 4.7. Has a bomb load of either 9 250 kilogram bombs and up to a max bomb load.
Was gonna come.
And a max bomb load
thing was
of
gonna be before the 7.7.
Yep, 4 tons of bombs or 2 1,800 kilograms. But for now, I'm not really going to spade this because it's a bomber.
How dare you? What heresy! We came here to see the friggin' German super bomber.
Yep. Okay, so okay.
Top turrets are 20 mils.
So it does get air takeoff. Again, flight models are subject to change because this thing feels like it's climbing a little fast. Also, this bomber is so awkwardly huge that the camera angle is really weird to use.
Well, it's bigger than the B-29.
Yeah, so it's a big plane, but honestly, it has worse defense than B-29, to be completely honest here. So,
well, that good MG-1.
At least the top. So you have like how many guns? So you have like 3 guns facing rear. So you do actually have pretty good top protection. Wait, how far? Oh, also the rear-facing guns in the cabin, which can fire as well. So a lot. I think the top 2 are 20 mils, so that should be fine. So it should have pretty decent, but not great. For 4.7, it actually has workable.
What's the cockpit look like?
We'll look to it. So, and the nice thing is that since the top turrets are full 360, any attack on top, you're going to be facing those top turrets, and that's not going to be fun. Anyway, let's look at the cockpit here. So we have the one gun in front. It's a very interesting looking cockpit. We have all these guys wearing their gas masks, so that's nice. So, big plane. One of the most important tests as a bomber is that if a 4-engine bomber can do a really tight pylon turn, like wings fit going straight around, so it turns pretty well doing that. Obviously, you lose a lot of energy though. Wouldn't want to be
German. It will never break its wings.
Well, we but don't know. This Wunderbomber was a project initiated to try to make a bomber that could reach the United States. Obviously, why it's called the America bomber. There were 3 prototypes built, and of course, it just never really got anywhere. It never actually entered service, even in the, desperate measures and desperate times, simply because the Germans had some myopic friggin' obsession with medium bombers. Probably because the guy who advocated for long-range bombing flights that could, reach past the Urals, he died in an air accident. So, of course, since he wasn't around to say, hey, we should build long-range bombers, the Germans never had any proper, truly long-ranged bombers specific for the task of bringing heavy ordnance to a target many, many miles and kilometers away from their home base.
Bold words for someone many miles away.
Because of German doctrine, they couldn't get heavy bombers.
I love how the thing's about the length of a Do 217, but has the wingspan of a B-29.
Here, and oh, well, it died. That tank died on target. So it seems oddly too maneuverable. Again, this is a dev server. That flight model is probably not completely fixed. It does feel a little janky, but
It just looks weird.
It feels lighter than it should be too. For some reason, despite how much bigger it is than the B-29, it feels like it's more maneuverable than it should be.
The fuselage is probably about the length of a Doe 217, but the wingspan's like twice the size of a B-29.
Yeah, which is insane. Anyway, let's return to the hangar here. So 2 prototypes of the aircraft were destroyed in bomber raids. The third one was scrapped, unfortunately. So all F2
God
here.
damn it, America destroying all the cool shit.
Yep, all F2. Now we're going into
They
the
always gotta
NVIDIA.
ruin everything, don't they?
Yeah, so NVIDIA and Zell time here. So let's take a look inside the aircraft and see their stations. And wow, that's actually shocking. There's actually some actual details in here, including 2 bunks. 2 bunks inside the middle of the aircraft. There's
It's wrong. There should be 4, but you know, whatever.
well, it had to be simplified. I'm guessing here. So fairly detailed. It's not, super detailed, but it works, I'd imagine.
It needs more. It needs bigger bomb load.
Yep, it has a pretty detailed interior, detailed enough, all things considered. Okay, and then the bomb bay as well. Here we go. Inside the bomb bay, all the bombs inside. And generally speaking, it's a really nice looking aircraft. Good skin on it. At least it's not the most detailed skin ever, but good enough.
Wait till the users get to it.
Yeah, until we get the users into it. Like, when I say good enough skin, there are things like, looking at the landing gear, that texture is pretty weak, but hey, when somebody gets their hands on it, it's gonna be fun. Seems like the stream is doing fine though, even though we're in 1080p. I usually scale it down to 720 just out of frame rate issues, but it seems to be doing fine, so we're gonna leave it at that.
Needs bigger bombs. We need to do TU4 levels of just ending games.
Yep.
Germany deserves that at least once.
Okay.
America had it. Russia had it. Japan had it a long time ago.
Yep. Anyway, now moving on to the Soviet Union, who also gets fuck all for aircraft.
We got nothing because Gaijin refuses to add the MiG-21 because they won't add the F-4 Phantom.
They want both of them. Anyway, however, we will now move on. They do get some new stuff, including to what is known to what I've been told. People who play Squad may recognize this vehicle as the shipbox. This is an MTLB that has been outfitted with a rocket launching system, and it is now known as the Sturm S. It's not a Sturm.
Good.
It's not particularly great, I guess.
It sucks.
I kind of, in my opinion, though, this vehicle should have been in the game before the IT-1 in a lot of ways, with just the 9M14 missile, just because it would have been balanced at the time. It would have been more balanced than the IT-1. That sure, it has this ATGM, but it has fuck all for armor, and literally just looking at it, it will fall apart into small, tiny pieces.
Until you see like the later versions of it where they add some bullshit armament to it.
Yep. I'm just putting enough.
Just give it a week. It'd only take a week for a Gaijin to give it some stupid contact one ERA that it never had.
Yep.
Once you get contact
the
6.
dank box, as Salty Frenchie,
contact 6.
Salty Frenchie is calling it the dank box.
The dank box.
Colin Doles goes, so sad, not T90's angry face.
Yeah, it's not the T90. It's not the MiG-21 either, so...
Or it's not a T80 MV or VM or whatever the hell.
BVM.
Oh, wow. Oh, the launcher's actually animated. That's cool. Like, it stows itself when you're on the move. And it goes at a pretty good tick, too. It's going pretty fast. It's a fast boy.
Well, they're infantry transport vehicles, so you would think they'll be quick.
Oh, it can fire. It at least can fire at 10 kilometers per hour on the move. It doesn't have the. It has a decent reverse gear though. It's not the best reverse gear, but it's faster than some other vehicles of this type. Anyway, we will pick a target here. So Abrams. This, oh, what is this gun sight doing? Okay, that's, well, that's a bug. Yep, definitely a bug here. Fire. Fire? Oh, well, I guess I have to use the red circle here. So that's really weird. Again, probably going to be fixed later. We need hard base. No music for the time being, so... Also, let's watch the reload animation here because it's just funny. Fire that missile. Aw.
I don't understand. This should.
Interesting.
This seems like
Did they change the reload animation for the vehicle?
No.
No, it's because in the collab, it shows the rocket tube falling off the side of the vehicle. And then it reloads.
Maybe they did change it. I don't know.
Maybe.
They
Don't care
probably
for
changed
it.
Yeah, it's not particular. It's an interesting vehicle, fires missiles, but how did that missile ricochet?
Because Gaijin
Missiles,
doesn't
no,
understand
missiles
how
can
rockets
actually do
work.
that.
Can off the lower half of a Abrams.
No, never mind. That's.
I'm gonna take
This
out my
seems
anger on
like-
this leopard. There we go.
This seems like something what should have been added before the IT1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This should have been in the game before the IT1 because it would have been more balanced. It has a long reload time. It has maneuverability, good rockets, but it has a long reload time and it has no armor whatsoever. We're not even going to look at the armor. It's an infantry carrier. It can only defend against rifle caliber bullets. Probably not even AP bullets. So, fast, maneuverable, sneaky as fuck, but not particularly the best vehicle to use. In some cases, I would imagine the IT1 would actually be a better thing to bring out, but you lose a lot of that maneuverability in exchange for armor that is essentially completely fucking useless at the tiers it would be fighting. So, the Sturm is a 9-3, and that is basically all Russia gets in their ground forces, nothing in aircraft, but they do get another boat.
You know what's funny about that thing though, John, is when you
What?
get those people who go out on the M22 Locust to meme on some top tier tank, that this thing's just going to be torn apart by like anything memeing.
Now we have here, I think is this like a submarine chaser? I guess the Groza Gopnik kind of has a weird derpy face too.
Pardon, I was getting food. What are we talking about?
The Groza
The
now.
Groza.
Yeah, what about it?
Is it a
it's
sub
bad.
chaser?
No.
What is it? It's just a boat.
Mine layer.
It's
Mine
like
layer.
it's just really like a patrol boat.
Ah, okay.
Patrol boat.
So-
Mine layer. Either one.
Decent boat. Let's give it the good old Ansel
102s.
look around though. So the patented JonMan looks around on the ship using the video Ansel. So you get a nice close-up look at all the detail work here. The captain's steering wheel here and the pipe, of which the captain can yell down the pipe, "Suka blie to the right, not the left."
Dominic, what's left in Russian?
It's left in Russian.
I don't know.
Yes. What's aft in Russian? You know, the left side of the boat.
Oh, so you mean like starboard and port and all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So big gun. Other big gun.
Pulls out the Google Translate.
Yeah, so I
He is
get
not true
mine layer,
Russian.
basically a gunboat, a larger gunboat of some sort.
I wouldn't
3-7.
even call it a gunboat.
Looks, I guess it's a mine layer with guns. It has torpedoes. It has 37
Be like
millimeter
a
cannons.
patrol boat.
Yeah.
Mine layer hybrid.
So, I don't think I'm gonna take this one out for drive because I guess it's interesting, but it's not particularly great either. So
It gets Bofors and 203.
yeah, officer trained man
203s.
seems to agree. Scrap it now, he says.
What a
It's
waste
spaceship.
of steel. You could make so many T-34s out of
Yeah,
that
exactly.
I
Now
know,
then.
right?
Now then,
boat. You've got 203s, you got 102s sitting around. Slap some of those in some T-34s.
yep. Now then, moving on, we're going to the British Navy here, and HMS Southampton. So one of the first. This is another light cruiser, but it is the Town class light cruiser. Other ships in this line, including Northampton, or frick, I can't remember names off the top of the head. Cruisers of this class participated in the hunts for both Bismarck and Scharnhorst, probably the more. And there are actually, I think, 3 different subvariants of the Town class cruisers. Probably the one that's most well known, since she's preserved and still afloat, is HMS Belfast. But for now, we have Southampton here. So, big boat, 4 turrets with 4 triple turrets with 6-inch guns. So, a lot of guns on board.
16-inch. That thing is just a Belfast.
Yeah, but I think it has a different armor configuration. So it does have anti-fragmentation
Doesn't
armor
matter.
on the deck, rolled cemented armor on the hull in 2 spots, except for like directly under the boat for some reason, or ship, as it were. Sorry. So
Is it
that's
wooden
weird.
deck? Because British really liked their wooden decks for
Yeah,
some
they
reason.
wooden decks, but they had. I think this one apparently had like steel plating under the decks. But yeah, I think an admiral of the fleet, of the Mediterranean fleet, is once quoted as saying, "I don't really like these Southampton or these Town class cruisers. They keep getting hit in the bloody hangar," which is the aircraft right in the middle of the ship. They seem to like to. They keep aiming down the middle of the ship because it's like a very. I can see why. Literally, the most obvious target to hit an aircraft. If you're coming in an aircraft, where are you gonna hit? Right there, right there. Just aim right there. They even put life rafts there as a target. You know. Anyway, let's bring this big
Well,
guy
they're
up.
still 4 turrets, a triple barreled, 16-inch guns. It's
Yeah.
still devastating.
Yeah, devastating. It's still gonna be a pretty just with the sheer amount of guns. So it's kind of like a better Brooklyn. Oh, there goes the AA.
It's more on par with an Atlanta.
Okay, so no, apparently it is a sub chaser. It's a sub chaser. Apparently, I don't even care. It's Russian naval just does not. It doesn't exist.
That aircraft is gone, very loudly. Look at that poor Ju-88 or Italian aircraft.
What a
Why me? Sploosh. And the secondaries absolutely destroyed everything over there. The one thing that is note that this is a pure. Oh, it does have torpedoes. Never mind. I was about to say it doesn't have torpedoes. Nope, it has 2 triple launchers, 1 on each side. Just kind of
okay,
hiding
the
on the lower
fuck
deck.
are those AA guns?
A lot of AA guns, apparently. Let me get into. Where's my binocular view? Holy shit. Do I not have the button set up for this? God, I hate myself. Hold up.
Those are what the hell?
Camera control.
Yeah,
Really?
What is that AA gun, Nick? What the fuck?
Continue. Anyway.
Oh my god!
There we go.
It's like the equivalent of like the Germans putting like 820s in 1 round.
Oh, just wait until Germany gets the 55 mils.
Let's see.
Oof.
Ooh. Okay. I will say
Well,
these
you
things
think the
reload really
37s are
fast. We'll say, there was some showing on the server like single fire, but I guess that's not a thing. Yet. Not really. That would be nice at some point. I will say though, on this destroyer, this thing is devastating. The guns are, even though it's only HE, seemingly for the time being, yeah, those guns are pretty devastating.
Well, did you even check the mods?
We'll look at it, but even just going out stock, those HE shells are fragging this thing. A lot of guns too. Keyboard EXE has stopped working, says Officer Train Man.
Well, they're
So.
16-inch shells, so you're pretty much throwing like half a Volkswagen at them.
No, you're okay. If it's half a Volkswagen, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm throwing 6 Volkswagens in weight at the enemy. Interesting.
Nearly.
Nearly.
When you think about like Bismarck was firing fucking Volkswagen cars out of her 15 or 16-inch guns.
Yep.
So you're firing maybe a quarter of a Volkswagen.
Yeah. Also, by the way, there is actually AP shells because I'm dumb. One for the SAP for the 102s and CPBC shells for that. I guess we'll now retest it with those shells on board. Probably have to keep that in mind later.
Me being an idiot and saying 16.
Yeah.
16. They're fucking 6-inch.
When
God
Atlanta
damn
is
it.
in game, we need some heavy cruisers with that to counter that minigun. Yeah, that's probably fair, all things considered. Okay, so first and foremost, if I can get guns on target here.
It gets smoked. It gets smoked. It pretty much is in Atlanta. God damn it. Not in Atlanta, or Belfast. Intensify the cancer.
Yeah, we're just gonna let that torpedo go along. For shits and giggles, that S-boat is there. Let's see what those AP shells do, though, on target once they all get themselves around, which is apparently taking its sweet time. Oh, the British torpedoes, though, that thing is slow as all hell.
Very historical.
Yep. Oh, there goes the S-boat. It got hull broken. Oof. I don't think an S-boat would be surviving in one piece after it gets hit by a torpedo. Imagine how these breaks in half. Anyway.
Guy, we gotta get the Bismarck. Nah, man. We get Bismarck, everything dies.
Yep.
When you think
shell
of, when you look
splashes,
at the
3,
history,
2, 1.
the British
Ooh.
torpedoes did nothing.
That seems to have hurt. Let's move forward. Here.
It's harder to hit things when you move.
Yeah. Of course, hitting a stationary target isn't indicative of what you'll be able to do in real life, but this thing seems to be doing a lot of damage. Seemingly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Keep firing it, but yeah, it has a. I would imagine it has a pretty decent reload. It's like basically by the time your shells get to that distance, so this is about 6,000 meters, about 7,000 meters.
Your guns are reloaded by the time they get there.
Yep.
But it's quicker with the HE if you noticed.
Yeah, I think it's because the HE shells are lighter. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, HE shells are lighter.
Of course, fire. We're just setting fires on that cruiser over there. Not visible, but you can see why the Town class was a popular design for the British Navy. Of course, now let's load HE shells and HE the hell out of this thing. Wish though the tracers would be a bit brighter for ships in daytime conditions. Just for the really more game purposes than anything else. Okay, we're gonna land those shells there. I think it'll be a good ship overall.
It'd be annoying.
It'd be annoying, but not the most broken ship. Well, we got a lot of ships to go through. Oh boy, sticking with it now. So now moving on to, we're gonna keep the aircraft thing for last, but first and foremost, a very interesting vehicle that was just recently revealed, the Stormer HVM. So it's a Alvis. This is another one of those Alvis-based tracked vehicles. This is Britain's own AAM platform with the Starstreak.
Without guns.
However, it does carry the very unique Starstreak missiles. And let's see. So HVM's here. I don't think we're going to really need to spade it for any reason. So let's take her out here and see what this guy does. Although the hood would die in about 5 seconds. 1, the radar on this thing is on crack. Literal crack. So
shooting range.
I forget how to use the radar properly, which is not probably the best
Alt
thing.
R. Alt R and Alt F. Alt F to target.
Or if you're an absolute Chad, you actually did the keybinds yourself and not use the actual game keybind.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I need to change mine around, but those are what default are.
Okay, switch radar indicator type, select radar, target the lock on. I apparently set those all to numpad buttons for whatever reason, though my oh, there we go. Watching it. Missed. Firing. Oh! Ooh! That hurt. Yeah. Okay, so the speed of this thing, the one thing about these missiles, as I've read, they're not proximity based, seemingly. However, they fly friggin' fast compared to some other missiles, so it can do some serious damage to, now you really don't want to be, even if you're far away, if somebody sees you and you're just hovering there like a retard in a helicopter, yeah, you're gonna get this thing very quickly to the face.
You know what's stupid is Germany gets their own version of that unless they give the Gepard those rockets.
Yep. Let's see, and ooh, toasted. Here comes that
the
poor IL-28.
FIM-92 Stinger.
Yep. So, I changed the radar type.
It
Okay.
actually did the Gepard get
So
any
relatively fast missiles. So that's the nice thing about this thing. So it's relatively fast. However, if you notice, the missiles look kind of weird. That's because the way these missiles are designed, is it's actually not an explosive warhead. It's actually 3 specially made tungsten darts that are filled with an explosive. They're essentially semi-armor piercing rounds. They were designed to hit an aircraft, embed into its, inside the aircraft, and then explode. And despite the fact that I just said it's tungsten, it is a hollow piece of tungsten. It's not tungsten long rod as you would see in some tanks. So yeah, firing at enemy tanks is probably ill-advised because you're not going to get, you're not going to get a kill on an MBT like here, an IT-1. Yeah.
People said that about the Tunguska. And
yeah, and it's absolutely wrecking tanks right now.
No, but here, we have an IT-1. It has decent armor, You just, I think you guys just saw on screen.
Terrible armor.
The, well, it couldn't even pen the IT-1, so. Let's see, can I?
Well, yeah, because, you can't just throw a missile at the tank and expect it to go through. You have to hit, a...
However, light-skinned vehicles, wow, I missed. Lightly skinned vehicles like the Zezi, like a Shilka or an enemy Tunguska, yeah, this is absolutely devastating because you're firing 3 darts at once.
I was wondering what that was. It's 3 darts.
Yeah, it's essentially 3 darts. That's the way these missiles work, which is really interesting and why it basically, I think it fires the entire rocket. Once the rocket gets near target, it basically goes to a second stage and fires the darts off at beyond a certain amount of speed. Basically, this thing is flying as fast as some tank shells do in game.
Turns into a flesh round. I can't speak.
Giant flechette round. Jesus, damn it, you got me there too. So again,
trying to get him to say flashlight.
Again, let's just be very clear here. This thing can barely penetrate an IT-1, so it's, unless you somehow have one of the most thin-skinned side-armored tanks out there, this is not
like a leopard.
Like a leopard,
maybe, like a leopard.
Probably a leopard. So leopards aren't safe. This thing is, one, extremely deadly to aircraft when the controls are set up properly. So,
really?
What Cass? Oh, that's what Gopnik likes to say. He's biased to his Tunguska.
No, it's because it doesn't have proximity fuse. You have fast missiles, but no proximity fuse.
Does it matter though if I fucking hit you?
Yes, it does.
I fucking hit you though.
You took out the engine on the IT-1.
IT-1, but I don't think it's bad. It's just different from other vehicles. And Officer Trainman asked,
see if the Gepard got anything new.
I don't know,
was
but
something about the Gepard
why is there 5 fire extinguishers on the tank? Fuck if I know. Anyway, so
when the tank's
that's
really
the
on
Stormer.
fire.
The Stormer, I wouldn't say it's bad, but I think it's interesting. It's not going to be terrible, but combine that with, the Chieftain Marksman sitting about. I don't think anything is going to be flying in your airspace anytime soon. So, anyway, moving on to aircraft. The British do get aircraft. This patch, unfortunately, I don't know if there's any changes to the Javelin, because, again, I don't have patch notes in front of me. I haven't seen any patch notes yet. Probably going to check now. War Thunder. Patch notes. Dev. Oh, there, finally. Preliminary patch notes. Jesus Christ, it took a
Please
long
be
time
something for the Gepard. Please be something for the Gepard.
So let's see. We've already looked at the Bradley, the Stormer, so on and so forth. Okay, so as probably some of you getting kind of excited for it. Finally, Britain gets another jet, and this time it's in the form of the Hunter F6. So a brand new Hunter.
Who cares? Where the fuck's the CAC?
Oh, that's it. We were talking about that there was a maybe at some point there would be the Hunter F6, which is here, and then the CAC.
Move on,
Saber.
No one cares. It's just another Hunter. Where's the CAC?
Yeah.
No one cares. It's a Hunter.
Yep.
It's the exact same thing.
I think it has a better engine, though.
It has a better engine.
It has a better engine, and it also carries some. It does have
blue bombs.
Blue bombs, or 500 general purpose bombs. Because by this point, British general purpose bombs, which are like giant arrows, for some reason. Of course, the Hunter F6 is one of the later variants of the Hunter. So, and there's a funny irony that I had the vehicle unlocked, and it just keeps saying, "Congratulations, you've gotten research points toward a Hunter F1." Anyway, so the most interesting part of the aircraft is it does carry air-to-air missiles, but they're not Sparrows. These are the SRAM missiles, which would later be the development of these would later lead to the advanced SRAMs.
Does it actually get anything interesting like radar, or is it just another Hunter with air-to-air missiles?
A faster
just another Hunter.
It's another Hunter that should have a higher.
Okay.
It's another Hunter with, I think, equal or better performance to the previous one and some ground pounding capability. But
well, you
another
have
Hunter.
The gold. Just quickly use the gold and spade the other Hunter and have a look.
Yep. Or at least performance-wise, spade the other Hunter.
No, just performance-wise.
Yep.
So you can just compare, because that's casually, 1,480 minus 7.9.
Something. You're casually just spade the Hawker Hunter here. Let's see. Just get through it quickly. Because, again, where is the Vulcan? We'll be getting to it. If anyone's gonna ask, we're reserving the Japanese for last. I'll actually be skipping over the Japanese just to get the other guys out of the way, because the Japanese the Japanese and the French get a lot of love this time around.
Actually, I would not recommend looking at the MBT. It's broken.
Well, we're going to look at it anyway just to say we looked at it, because there are people who want to see it. This is a, shiny, look at it stream. Not really a detailed, every single nook and cranny about everything.
Right now, it's not modeled correctly.
Well, again, it's work in progress. So, spaded the Hunter F6, when it's not loaded down with missiles, is nominally faster. No, even with missiles loaded, it's nominally faster than the F1. Though I would imagine it's basically an F1 with better overall power. I guess not particularly. It's another Hunter, but we're going to fly it out anyway here, because that's what want to see it. I have the funny thing, we were talking about the F6. It could possibly come in the game, and then it just, hi, I'm the Hunter F6. It comes in the game.
Oh my god!
Yeah, an extra 30 kilometers an hour. Woo.
Yeah. Woo. However, more importantly, is to check out the SRAM missiles and see how they do, because I've gotten pretty good with the Sparrows flying around the G91YS, which is a guide in progress now. I have a lot
Maximum
of I have a
fuel
lot
load,
of
4
B load.
minutes.
I have a lot of B footage. I just need to go record a lot more live match footage, just to kind of fill in.
What's with all the new jets just not having fuel? Like, what is Gaijin doing? Like, what's
I
4
feel like
minutes
that.
of fuel gonna
I think
do?
that's I'd imagine it's a glitch. So
No, even in the test screen to do all your options, it said minimum load 4
Yeah.
minutes.
let's see. Okay, so I have it set. Okay, I have that set up like I do on the on the live server. Alt F and then no Alt X Alt X Alt space for my
Space.
yeah Alt
I
space
changed
for
that to just the X and space bar.
Sergeant.
bar
How do
already
I use
does
a fire
enough stuff and
extinguisher?
will-
I don't know. Just use it.
Pull the pin and throw it.
Okay, coming in behind. It has a really wide aim circle, but let's see how fast this goes. And hi. Oh. Oops.
Apparently they're really bad.
Well, that was interesting. Didn't think that would happen. This stream is just not going well, is it? That was bad.
No, I couldn't tell you. I'm about 30. What the fuck is that aim circle? This stream
Yeah,
is like 30
it's
seconds
lagging
behind.
pretty hard, but I'm now looking on my other screen. You're about to watch me fail horribly in about 3 seconds. Oh god.
Did you hit him?
Yeah, I
That's
didn't.
alright. You don't need that engine.
Yeah.
That's what happens when Bryn gets another hunter. It just falls out the sky. I really hate that fucking aircraft. I don't know why. Just
So-
why? Why a hunter of all things? They could have added a different aircraft. Made it
saber.
completely unique.
A saber. The CAC
Not
saber.
just a saber, but they added another hunter. What only goes like an extra 30 miles an hour than the original hunter. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
it's so stupid. They
The
could have added
SR
something so
The
unique.
SR-71 Blackbird would just be fucking useless in this game. I'm sorry. As much as I like
What are
the
you talking
Blackbird,
about? It could carry bombs.
it would.
Yes,
John
but it
Man
had no
death.
guns.
John Man death counter 6 deaths.
So we already have planes that don't have guns.
Okay.
Japan
Now,
Yeah,
while you guys,
exactly too.
while you guys are
CP5N1 would-
arguing about it now, so now we're gonna check out the Italians. No new aircraft, unfortunately, but they do get this thing. So this is the
They got a-
OF-40, which is
They got a premium.
premium OF-40 with be able to fire DM-23.
It's basically a Leopard A1A1. That is all it is.
Yep.
Moving on.
Moving on. Though, let's see how it rolls around because it should be fairly maneuverable as a tank.
It's the same. It's the same as the A1A1. It's not any different.
Well, it's
Dominic's
Italy,
just
what do you
sad because he
expect?
doesn't have
They-
his MiG-21.
There
He proclaimed it before. No, he proclaimed this before, even long before this dev stream. Is that if there isn't a MiG-21 in the next patch, the patch is gay.
Pretty much.
It's like all we're gonna get is these like dinky little vehicles that like the
that ammo rack. What the fuck?
Yeah, that hurt. That ammo rack's kind of
Look,
weird. It has a ready rack in the turret basket and that. So
There's no there's no reactive armor or spaced armor. Oof, that thing's
Wow,
that is just a Leopard
Leopard.
A1A.
yeah.
Italy just
a
copies it,
box.
I
makes it.
literally told you.
It's
So-
Italy. What do you expect? It's Italy.
Italy.
They never come up with anything unique. They always steal from other countries.
However,
And no, the
That's the tank
area
there.
T does not count.
Or the automatic.
yeah. Well,
That's a
unfortunately for you,
prototype and not an actual
the
thing.
Arietti is what we're looking at next, and not the pre-series, the Arietti. Though armor is probably going to be fucky, so I'm not going to say if the armor is final or not. So, does have proper
The
composite armor.
Leclerc's armor.
Leclerc's armor. We'll see what that is in a moment. So air
It's so
high
bugged.
hardness inserts. So it's the Arietti. So it's definitely not the pre-series. So it has a lot more refineries that come with it. It has why does it have so many machine guns? It has like 3 different MG42 59s. What the hell? Jesus. Just straight up.
MG42-59s. Yeah, they didn't change to the MG3 to like the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're MG42s, but from 1959.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
this thing has a
When you
really
need to
I will say this thing has a really twitchy turret. Like holy
when
hell.
when
Like,
your tank needs to
this
reenact
turret-
D-Day.
Okay, I will say the turret, even though this vehicle is stock, the turret moved nearly as fast as my mouse, which is
Well,
know.
it's like that with most top tier tanks
Yeah.
these days anyway. You don't even need horizontal drive.
yep. So interesting vehicle. Of course, I'm not the tank guy. Again, just showing off the tanks because it's a quick breeze through stream. Always been that's kind of been the awkward thing about anytime I've jumped on the dev server to do stuff, it's always been kind of let's look around, ooh shiny kind of stream, and I guess I just kept doing that because I don't know, I just like looking at the vehicles and just not I guess most like, oh my god, English EXE just broke down, Jesus.
Oh, all you probably have to do, John, is take like 5 minutes, look on Wikipedia, then just like copy
Yeah.
and fucking paste from
Copy
that
paste.
shit.
I did that at
Yeah.
one point, but with the patches, with so many stuff coming in these patches, sometimes it's like I can't always look and do all the
Do it
research.
just to like some of the unique stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
some
gonna
of
have
the
to do a
unique stuff.
lot of work when it comes to the boats, because it's just yeesh
Yeah.
boats.
Yish boats, but so at least
The
to say
tank is
the
pretty much
Italians now
reinforced
have their
D-Day.
proper top tier, not a pre-series vehicle. You know, I think actually I made a community post saying, it was like just making fun of people in the comments and dev servers. Okay, we got this MBT. What next tank can we bitch about until they do something about it? So on and so forth.
yes,
And the
Type 10
comment I put like, okay, where's my pre-series Arietti or not pre-series Arietti? The answer is here's the not pre-series Arietti.
The top of that Italian tank is just a Panzer 1. When you need to reinforce your pillbox on the D-Day landings, it's just an Ariete rolls out of a trench.
Yeah, it's just a lot of machine guns though. I like how there's a machine gun for both the loader and the commander. For whatever reason.
That's
Well, that's
typically
what
how it's done. Yes,
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually just one for the commander though, isn't it?
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Most
not at
tanks
all.
have a machine gun for both the loader and the commander.
Yep.
And then they slap a 50 cal on the back. Like that's that third post in between them. That's where they would put another gun for
Oh my
someone
god,
to
what
sit
is
on
the
the back
comments
of the
doing?
tank.
Yep, everybody gets their own gun, smoke launcher. So yeah, so the not pre-series Arietti is now in game. So it's the tier 6, or tier 7. However, it's still a 9.7. Interesting enough. Eh.
Oh, they finally fixed the Leo 285 texture bug.
God, you could tell the difference between the pre-series model and the production model so much. It's just the
More
model
machine
one has rivets and the other one doesn't.
more rivets and just basically all the fineries of a tank that is actually supposed to go into battle, as in
More
all
They're
the
not actually
pioneering
rivets, they're
tools, all the stuff in it. So yeah, at least
More
that's interesting.
rivets. Time to hit it with a Hesh round.
Yep. So again, no new aircraft. Actually, one thing I didn't see in the German tree, they speculated about it, that the possibility of a German G91 R3, but yeah, there isn't a G.
not there.
Sad face.
Did the Gepard get anything?
No, it didn't. I already looked.
Yeah, the Gepard didn't
It-
get anything. See,
It
this is
sucks. They're
why
only-
this is why I don't trust the data mines. The vehicles may be there, but they may not be either A, ready to be in the dev server, or B, they're just not ready to go into the next in the patch. So until we see the actual live server like update patch notes, we won't know. Anyway, so
Gepard needs the FIM-92 Springer missiles. It only gets
Yep.
4 of them, and they're like
now
the
we're
actual
looking at
bazooka
the
strapped to the
we are
side.
now looking at the new tier 6 premium for France, and that's the AMX Super, or vaguely a information on this tank is like I've discussed this at length with other members of my Discord. We've come to the conclusion that this most likely was either done, like the planning was done. We don't know if it was built, but it seems like a lot of the ideas here definitely influenced what would later be something that Giat Industries would do and try to promote an upgrade for the current AMX-30s as the AMX-30C2, because both
the French
projects
don't like sharing their military doctrines because all of a sudden their civilians would chuck a riot on how much they're spending on a tank.
Yeah, but both projects, both the C2 and the AMX-30 Super, both shared the same concepts, which was put a bigger engine that is easier to remove and service in the tank, stabilize the 105, and generally just a lot of suspension and track upgrades. But the one glaring difference between this and the upgrade that was proposed by Giat was that they actually kept the 20mm cannon. This tank was supposedly sent to Saudi Arabia as an option for them to upgrade their fleet of AMX-30s, but Saudi Arabia at some point did receive American tanks instead.
That armament, just an MG3 and a 50 cal.
Yep. So supposedly better shells. It does fire a dart shell now, but let's give it a look, because that thing, the collab for this one was kind of just like it rolling around, Drifto fucking leaping off hills. So let's see how fast it's like. Oh wow, okay, this thing accelerates fairly quickly right off the bat.
You get an A1A1, and you get an A1A1, and you get an A1A1. That's basically what this is.
I would say this is actually closer to a Type 74 than an A1A1.
No, no, it's an A1A1. It really does feel like an A1A1.
Yeah.
Well, they pretty much all copied the A1A1.
Pretty much. Well, of course, it was because France and Germany were working on their own tank together, but then it just like every co-authored project, they went, nah, let's go our separate ways, kind of.
Yeah,
that's why I said it's an A1A1, because like they worked on the same tank.
All these tanks pretty much copied German design, except for when you get to like Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, Poland, Norway, and Finland is where they all go Soviet Union.
Yeah. I will say this is a fairly fast tank. Honestly, it feels like it's faster than the A1A1, oddly enough.
It might be a little bit faster. The A1A1 was made earlier, so that's why this would probably be a little bit faster.
It has a good reverse gear with 27 kilometers per hour reverse gears, so good. Definitely very good.
Good in reverse.
Finally, a tank that has historical retreat values.
Yep. Well, I can't say the same for some British tanks and some Russian tanks, but you know.
Yeah, they're not meant to retreat. That's not their job.
Yep.
He's not meant to do that.
Reposition. Of course, we have to do the smoke. Oh, nice. So the rear ones fire first, and then the front ones fire. So that's interesting to know. It's a really interesting looking tank, though, with the amount of antennas and stuff sticking up out of it.
It's what gets you seen half the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
You're right.
I will say, oh, and of course you have the. You do have the
days when you could put bushes on top of antennas. That was fun. Putting a pink cherry blossom at the top of your antenna.
Yeah, so that 50 cal in there. So it's a good tank. So if you really want, the tank to grind, or just you just want to have it. Collectors. It's a cool tank. It's pretty cool.
If you want a French A1A1, here it is.
Yep.
Moving on.
Yep. And moving on to next, we're actually going to say the Leclerc glass. However, let's look at the thing that hasn't been shown off yet. Oh god, are we playing Wargaming now? Is this Wargaming Red Dragon?
Yes.
Now? Oh boy, because the French
What are we looking at?
This is the rolling.
Time to dab on JonMan with a plane again.
Yep. But we now have France gets their own air missile or ground to air missile system. So let's see.
It's pretty bad. It's really bad.
It's a rolling. Just really starting to get that war game vibe here. But let's see.
You know what's stupid is Germany gets the exact same thing, the Roland. That would be the exact thing Germany gets unless they get the Gepard with the Stroud with the Springfire missiles.
Well, you better hope they don't get the Roland, because this thing has exactly, for its top tier missile, 620 meters per second.
Yeah, well,
Velocity.
Germany would get the roll. Yeah, well, Germany would get the Roland 2 or the Roland 3, what they actually use.
Yep.
This
So,
is the Roland 1.
Yeah, the Roland 1. Don't know what chassis that's based off of though. It must be a unique one. Don't think it's an AMX. Not an AMX I've heard
It's
of.
giving me an M42 vibe for some reason because of the back.
Yeah, you know, it's also the funny part. It has it has 4 smoke launchers on the front. Cool. So if your teammate happens to run out of smoke,
and a fire extinguisher,
and a fire extinguisher, 2 fire extinguishers, but so yeah, I guess the radar is not animated yet, but it's another missile tank, and the fact, I guess British and French doctrines seem to both want to keep missile vehicles and gun vehicles separate, versus how the Americans and Russians and the Germans to a point later.
Unless it's the Tunguska where it gets both.
Yeah. Okay, wait, which button is it? Oh, there we go. Launch, lock, and it's dead. There goes that IL-20.
Is it only ground to air, or can you fire it at tanks?
No,
looks
it's only
like
ground
it's
to
ground to
air.
air. So
doesn't have the penetration.
Yeah, so
Unless you're skilled in one.
basically another air to ground vehicle, but this thing's kind of weird. Decent missiles, good lock on, but it seems like it's as tall as a Bradley though, so you're not going to be hiding.
I wouldn't say they're
soon.
decent missiles. Would not say that, actually.
Say decent.
Well,
no,
half the time,
I wouldn't even consider them decent.
Helicopters.
Yeah,
well, half the time,
unless the helicopter's sitting still, then yeah, I could see that.
Half the time, you see fucking retards in their helicopters sitting at about 4,000 meters stationary, using their rockets to snipe every asshole in the spawn.
So having a countermeasure.
I see more planes than I do see helicopters now.
Really, I see
more extinguishers to throw, says Officer Trainman. Many extinguishers. 42 of you watching now. Okay,
the slowest velocity for missiles I've ever seen.
Can we make sure that all the people who really like French tanks just don't suddenly come right now when I click on the customization button here? They probably will. 3, 2, 1, and yep, there we go. In the comment feed. There we go. Somebody got too excited. Anyway, Leclerc. So
that dude probably about nodded when you showed him that.
Yep. Yeah, I think Salty Frenchie just literally nutted just now. Anyway, so the Leclerc is France's modern MBT. This appears to be Series 1. Well, not Series 1. Batch 1, because they built them in several batches, though Batch 1 was like a proving vehicle.
It's Batch 8.
Is it Batch 8?
No, I don't know.
Yeah. There is
Batch 8, because why not?
Well, there is a Batch 8, but I don't think this is Batch 8. Anyway, we're just
still not
going to
be
the
as
shells.
bullshit as the A1, the A5.
So on the dev server stream, we saw it had some pretty extreme pen for its APDS shell.
It's the same as the AMX40.
Yeah, same as the MX40. Now I think on the dev server stream they showed it as having a really ridiculous pen. So it was like, huh?
Does it not get the Type 90's bloody 500?
Yeah,
I miss that. Why is not
definitely the one thing about this vehicle
anymore?
So armor is definitely a work in progress, for sure. Definitely a work in progress, though. It has pretty good.
It can get penned by a BT5 on the front.
On the front.
This dude in chat is losing his shit over this tank. It's probably it's got 528 mils of pen.
Officer, well, there goes
like
my
I
heart
said,
on.
same shells as the AMX40.
Yeah. So one thing I will say, the breach looks like may not be as weak. I assume that the breach would be the weakest part, but there is protection around the breach, apparently. So at least they didn't make that mistake, unlike certain Russian tanks.
Oh, look, a top-tier tank won't get breached immediately.
Yeah, so that's interesting to know. Well, we don't know its true armor value, so we don't yet. The one thing, it does have that's not rolled homogeneous. I'm imagining those are composite armor pieces at the front, kind of like the Abrams. And also 360 degree smoke launchers. Fuck it, let's take it out for a drive. Let's see.
I wonder how many people are gonna gold their way or gold this thing out.
Yep. Right off the bat,
5-second reload. What?
It's bugged. The stat card just says the stat card says it has 0 millimeters of protection around the turret. It's completely
Well, when you look
bugged.
at the turret, it's just spaced armor.
That's not the Spaced Armor prequel.
It looks like spaced armor.
That's composite.
The pen is mightier than the sword. Wargaming refugee.
Composite spaced armor.
You see all that brown stuff in between the plates?
I will say
Oh,
that
that's all-
dart.
it's all
That
composite.
dart basically just said "fuck you" to all that ERA on that tank. Fuck you in your ERA. It says. One thing I noticed. Okay, that's a bug already. No neutral steer. Interesting. I would imagine the French did come up with neutral steering. There's like literally no neutral steer. It kind of just. It's
Well,
like
you
I
didn't
released the
upgrade
brake.
any of that.
Well, no, it's like there should be neutral steer, even though I don't have any upgrades. It's just,
Well, in the model, it doesn't have a blow-up panel.
yeah. So I guess it has blowout panels, but okay, let's hear. The one thing I want to see is the 360 smoke launch. Oh, I could just.
What smoke launches?
There are
Oof.
smoke launchers, and yeah, this tank basically will be a. So this is one of the few tanks that can literally ninja vanish.
Oh, most tanks can then vanish.
Well, this one does it better. Honestly, this does its smoke better than the Abrams, because the Abrams and the Challenger both have the issue of my smoke grenade launchers are far too angled to the left and right, so when I fire them, I basically just give the enemy a point of reference to aim at my dumbass.
Oh, no, not really, because you can't see it now.
Well, at least
back up
beforehand,
and
but I remember, yeah, definitely, it's just the way...
the RU-251 is really bad on that, because
Yeah.
the midsection of the smoke, you can just see the vehicle.
It's where you angle the turret and the hull.
One thing also, this doesn't have a roof-mounted coax, at least not in the server. I say that now, and it'll probably get
Well,
at
you've
least
got
one.
a giant box in front of the commander's hatch.
Yeah, you're not. There's what would be the point of putting a coax
I would
on
say
it?
on the loader's side, at least.
What the hell's the loader gonna do? He's loading the shells in the tank.
Doesn't it have a...
Isn't it an autoloader?
Yes, supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly, but...
Unless the Series 2 batch is the one that has the autoloader, not the Series 1.
Can I have cars to crush on this test course, at least? You know, that'd be fun.
No, that would be too complicated because Gaijin doesn't like to update their shooting range.
Yeah.
Unless you download
I think
a user
Salty
one.
Frenchie is Jingles using his troll account. No. I would be humbled and also slightly weirded out if Salty Frenchie was really the mighty Jingles hiding on my Discord server.
Jingles doesn't give a fuck about War Thunder.
Yeah, he doesn't. So that's completely out of the question here. But Leclerc, I think it's going to be a very good MBT for top tier overall.
You gotta
Says
spade
it's
it so
now,
you can
then
see
it
its
starts getting
reverse rate.
memed by
I said I
HE.
think. Jesus Christ, Gobnik. I know you love your Russian tanks, but man.
You gotta spade it, John, so we can see its reverse rate.
Yep. I want to, but let's see. We're an hour and a half in, and we haven't even looked at the Japanese, and that's gonna take a while. So
All you need to know is Takahaka Bonzo.
okay, that was just out of nowhere. And anyway, the plane to look at, as I already have it out here on the lookout, the F-86K. So this, by the way, if anybody's going to ask, no, this plane wasn't even, it was designed in America, yes, but this particular one is basically a NATO plane at this point in its history. This was actually built by Fiat. They built a bunch of them for the French, which, you know, totally didn't give them the experience to build another jet plane at all. Totally. Anyway, so the F-86K is a Sabre variant with a massive friggin' afterburner, apparently. We're going to check that out now. I'm going to spade it. So, theoretically...
More sabers. All the sabers but the one we need.
The Aussie Saber.
But the one that's necessary for game balance completely, yes.
Yes.
What's wrong with a saber having the power of a hunter? I see nothing wrong with it.
Says the shit poster.
Gopnik's just upset because that thing was crushing MiGs in Vietnam.
Yeah, MiGs that would explode with half a minute of fuel. If they were down to like half their tank, they would explode.
Yep.
I just hear excuses.
Furball Taka.
I hear a shitty Australian jet.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Spicy.
I'm not the one who
So
was
the flying
okay,
taxi.
Gopnik.
So if you don't, so the Saber Dog, or I'm gonna call it the Saber Doge, in U.S. service, there wasn't. I don't think there were too many Saber Dogs that had cannons built in. Most of them had the weird rocket tray arrangement for some reason. I guess, like, you know, military. This is why I don't trust military planners sometimes. Like mid 50s, mid 60s military planners were kind of grandiose, my opinion. So let's see, its top speed when it's fully spaded, it has 11111 kilometers per hour with a 56 meter per second climb rate. Then I guess we're gonna just kind of gander at...
No, it's funny. Is the P-38K still outclimbs it?
Yeah. So it's, I think it seems to be comparable to, it should be comparable to the CL-13. Despite being heavier.
Nah, there's no way that thing's gonna be faster and better than the CL-13.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Even the Mark 16, even the Mark 6.
It's not as fast. It doesn't have the fastest hot speed.
A Saber being better than a Saber? No, that's heresy.
Heresy. Also, the fact that the Saber that has a proper afterburner is a bit.
Well, the Mark 6 doesn't have an afterburner.
Yeah, but the this F86K does, so... Oh
yeah,
boy.
It's going to be better than the CL-13.
The thing is, it may not have the top speed of the CL-13s, but the fact that it can accelerate with a lot of speed, if you can catch, you know, a lot of... The fact of the matter, I can pull a pretty hard takeoff and get after that MiG-15 here. So... that's pretty good, and it does have leading edge wing slats, so it should have pretty good low speed maneuverability as well.
Watch it still get wrecked by MiG-17s.
Well, if it even faces MiG-17s, depends on the
yes,
matchmaker
it will
nowadays.
face 17s.
Yep. Say though, feels like a good plane, good roll rate as every Saber does. Let's look at the cockpit, which has definitely a new cockpit. It's not a what is it? It's definitely new because it has, you know, a radar system in it, though it doesn't get radar. Right. They said the dev did say that they are going to add the radar to it. Right now, it should have radar. It doesn't have it at the moment. It has the modules and everything, but it does have the radar. It will have a radar installation available. I
can say whatever I want. Gopnik's no longer here. I can talk as much shit as I want about him.
I don't know. I think he went off to work though. So
you know.
Oh man, the approach speed on this MiG. Whew. Yeah. So at full wep, it's pretty fast, fairly fast. Climb has a decent climb rate. It feels good though to fly. It definitely feels good to fly.
What is that gun arrangement in the plane? What the hell?
420 millimeters. Unfortunately, not too deep. I'm surprised they didn't put DFAs in this at some point. That'd be hilarious if they put DFAs in this. Oh god. It's basically a slightly bigger G91 at that point, but anyway. Let's go in to there.
Just to make everything speed.
Let's get in on this MiG and fire.
Does it get air brakes?
Whew. I think it does. Yep, tail, fuselage mounted on the back, air brakes.
Well, I can see this thing being top dog for a while.
Yeah, it's contrary. I think, again, this is my suspicions with this aircraft is that it's generally better. It's going to be better than a CL-13 in many ways. In fact, it has better acceleration thanks to an actual afterburner, and it carries 20mm cannons rather than 50 cals. So it has better hitting power on target, and of course radar. So it may not be. It's definitely equal. I can see it being the equal of a CL-13, but until we see it on the server and see how players use it.
Well, most people don't play the CL-13s anymore. They play the Russian MiG.
Yeah, the Russian. I still see a lot of CL-13s though. I still see them when I'm flying the G91, but I can see the Saber Dog being a very good plane. And of course, now everybody's going on give Nippon Steel now. Well, you asked for Nippon Steel, therefore we go look at Nippon Steel.
Just like alt tab out of War Thunder and just put a picture of Battleship Yamato.
Yeah, just like let's
be
just slap.
This is War Thunder.
Yeah, we
it's
just slap a
really bad pixelated picture of the Yamato.
No, it's just the picture of Kankoli Yamato. There you go.
Yeah, that will work. That will get him.
That would work. Anyway, so now that I think I've covered everything that is. Wait, so ME-264. Oh wait, right. Japan does slight tease. Japan does get an aircraft, contrary to the modeler who did an oopsie.
It's the Yoka.
So the J5N1 Yoka, little twin engine fighter with 230 mils to 20 mils. Let's spade this guy and see how it flies, because if you know the Prime Minister ship posting, we'll look on Wikipedia quick while I do this.
What's the aircraft I'm behind?
J5N1.
J5N1 plane.
Yeah.
Nikishima.
Yeah, let's roll through this.
1945 Imperial Japanese Air Force, the 18 Shinden Squadron, blah 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 blah. 1,990 horsepower engines, 30 mils, 20 mils, speed like Type 5s or 5s. Bomber, it's a interceptor for B-29s.
Yep.
But there are different versions of that aircraft. What did fight through the entire war and were pretty scary aircraft.
Yeah. So like J5N1 is a fairly modern looking aircraft, all things considered. So 2 engines, has a fully modeled cockpit. So nice simple cockpit.
Surprised it's taking Gaijin this long to add this in, because there are multiple versions. Like this plane goes from J1 to J5 or even to J6.
Yeah, though for what it is, it has a pretty good. Looks like it has a pretty good top speed though. In kilometers. I wish I had it in miles per hour.
What's
I didn't see the BR. We'll look at it in a moment, but let's see. So it should be fairly fast.
All I know are those are Type 5s, and I saw 5 something there.
Yeah. So, spaded. I guess this is definitely a higher altitude aircraft. Will probably be more maneuverable at higher altitudes, but feels good. Good roll, decent roll rate. It's not for an aircraft of this size. Let's see if I can get the
reminds
roll.
Me of the
okay, it doesn't. That's nice. It doesn't really drop off when you do an aileron roll. Like some aircraft, like start dropping altitude when you do that. This one doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's good. Those 30 mils would absolutely yeet.
Well, they're
anything.
Type 5s. You chuck tracer on them, and they nuke pretty much. They think MK103s, but with the velocity of
50 cals.
Faster. They're 980, 150 cals are 950.
Yep, so pretty good. So a very fast plane with a lot of power behind it, so that's going to be pretty good. So I could see this as being definitely dangerous. It will definitely be very dangerous to encounter one of these things.
It looks like a smaller version than the Key 60.
It kind of looks like a bow fighter that went on a diet.
Yeah, well that was the whole point behind the aircraft.
Yeah.
Is they saw the bow fighter and they decided to make something similar. So there is a lot of versions of that aircraft. Some of them had upward facing guns like the Does, and some rear turrets in some of them. And
Yeah,
Even
so
some
it's basically a
bigger
bow fighter that
37.
went on slim fast and got massively boof. By that I mean the engines are nearly 2,000 horsepower apiece, so that's
Yeah.
that's pretty good, all things considered. It's a nice
With
looking
like
model
800
too.
rounds. Yeah, with like
So-
800 rounds of ammo between 20s and 30s.
Yeah, this aircraft has a lot of staying power. That's definitely with the amount- with the amount of ammo it's got.
414 meters RPM at 6,000 meters. That's
So
not
you'll be
bad for
relying
the
on the
outside.
20 mils more because you have over 700 rounds for the 20 mils, but the 30 mils should be absolutely lethal. I kind of want them though. The one thing I noticed that the cannon ammo was combined. I hope that in the patch
That should
should be
definitely
separated.
split apart.
Yeah, they
It's
should be
always been
separated so I can
separate.
fire 20 mils only, or and then reserve the 30 mils for heavy targets.
Well, you can do that. There is the difference between heavy and
It
light caliber.
wasn't shown up as that, and the aircraft here is 5.3, which is
That's
considering
the lowest. That's
Yeah.
the lowest Type 5s we have.
yeah.
Oh, you only
That's-
have 120 rounds. That's still those are nuke rounds.
Yeah, those are
With
new
Tracer.
rounds, but I think that would be a fun aircraft for the patch. Of course, we've seen a whole bunch of other aircraft as well from the models. However, we're not going to dwell on those because we don't know
Next
when they
dev
will.
server.
Maybe next dev server, maybe rare vehicles or premiums, but a lot of the other ones were really weird.
Operation Summer.
Operation Summer, maybe.
That
Japan
would be
doesn't get
shit.
any new tanks, so they're right now. I think they are now the only nation that doesn't have a proper ground-to-air missile system, other than Germany. So Japan and Germany are the
No.
only nations that have no ground-to-air missiles. So it's the U.S.,
Yeah,
USSR, Britain.
It's because
and
Japan
France.
focused
Oh,
more.
and Italy.
Japan,
Yeah, Italy
yeah,
didn't have it
Japan
either.
Japan focused more on their aircraft
All right.
and their SPAA, but they did pretty much the same thing Germany did and just strapped Stinger missiles to us. Fuck, what are those missiles called again?
And
Yeah.
now, time for you know what? Let me put one of the ships into my
Stinger
lineup
missiles.
so I don't have to keep going back and forth between the stuff. So now we're going to be looking at. Y'all been waiting for this. Let me look at the comments. We are now looking at the Japanese Navy in all its glory. So we'll look at this guy, this big old ship later. The Japanese Navy also brings in the first proper heavy cruisers into the game, but for now let's look at all the boats that they're getting. So starting with something that may be familiar to some of us who were in the closed beta. So this is their starting boat, the Type T-14. So it is literally a boat with 2 torpedoes and a 13mm cannon, or 13mm
Surprised
machine
they
gun.
didn't use the later versions of them when they used the
Yeah.
Iwo Jima.
Soviet Cat says
just
furry
packed full of
taco.
exp-
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Soviet,
Soviet Cat, do you
join
want to?
us?
Yeah, Soviet Cat, you want to join us because I know you're in the server. Gopnik had to go to work, I think. Yeah,
Please,
yet
Soviet,
again.
I need help. Save me from this Filipino.
You motherfucker. All right, somebody drag. Let me.
It's
do the-
alright, John. You know
yeah.
you love me.
Yeah. Well, you keep the Dankers meme section filled with memes, so that's good. So, Soviet Cato.
I don't know how to press your buttons.
Yep. Oh, there's also these Navy. So,
The-
it's a boat. The most generic.
the
This is
gunner
like.
of that
I'm
thing.
gonna be honest. This is the most generic looking boat ever for a
No.
starting boat.
John,
Do you
don't
know
worry.
they
You need to bonsai that boat in front of you.
John, you know the they
Tenohika
turned
Banzai.
John, you know they turned those boats into
Banzai. Well, that didn't work. But yeah, this is a really, it's, I guess, decent, but it's for low tiers. But yeah, that's I don't know how to feel about this. It's either as useless as the, I think it's like a bigger version. I would almost rather take the Russian starting boat because at least I move fast.
It's a nice one, though.
It's a
But
nice
I feel
boat,
sorry
though.
For that gunner. I feel sorry
Yeah,
for
that gunner is just standing there all in sundry and has to defend from everything. Okay, so that's the Type 14. Now we get
you
the
know,
Type.
John,
Now we have the Type T1, which looks oddly American.
Yeah, most of their
think that is
designs are
American,
copied off
actually.
them.
Is it American?
Actually, those are Lewis guns.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There are Lewis
Yeah.
guns on there?
Do you know?
What?
Do you know the Japanese turned all those
Those
PT
are-
boats into
those are-
kamikaze boats?
Those are straight up just Lewis guns. Sure, maybe Japanese made Lewis guns, but Lewis guns regardless. So,
Watch that
just.
box magazine. a
Oh,
little bit,
okay.
right?
Chroma Cam doesn't like this, but all I'm gonna say about Lewis guns, if you understand this reference, you know, maybe. So, just gonna put that there. So, if anybody gets that reference, that'd be funny. Yes, I do like watching that channel. Who is posting in other languages? I think. I wonder if that. All I could see is it just probably says Torah, Torah, Torah.
Don't worry, Google Translate's on the way.
Yep. So this is this. I can't tell if this is American or not. It looks American, oddly. It looks oddly American, but yet I don't want to say it is.
Emperor Hatini? What?
I don't know.
So it has two Type 92 machine guns
Hatini.
and two torpedoes angled out. Let's take this guy for a sail. Don't know that much because this is the thing. I guess this is the one thing I've always been concerned about with the Japanese Navy coming into War Thunder is we don't necessarily know what, you know, everybody knows about their like destroyers and their heavy cruisers, their battleships, their carriers, but then you have stuff like this, like, huh? The fuck is this?
What was the name of
Type. It is the Japanese T1. I'm thinking this might be either a later coastal patrol boat that could be built by America or something. But what's throwing me off is the fact that I have friggin' Lewis guns with like aircraft mags, like the double thickness aircraft mags and sights. So there's that.
Oh, apparently this came in 1941, and it was actually.
We need the Azuma and the Yashino.
Yep. So.
So Soviet Cat knows what those two ships are.
Yep,
Heck
so-
yeah.
They're just cruisers, aren't they, Soviet?
Yep.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Yep. So.
Like
This is
Shanhorse is a
the-
destroyer.
So at least it seems like Japan has some decent low tier boats. They'll do fine though. Their torpedo armament is good, but their gun armament is going to be lacking. That's for sure.
Not until they get to their like
Mid
destroyer.
tier.
Well,
Yeah, but in
it's not
terms, I'm
destroyer.
talking about their small boats. Their destroyers and stuff is completely different. Fun fact: the Japanese had a suicide boat that would crash into American boats, and it had death charges as the payload.
Damn. When
Yes,
that's
they u-
time. That's for time.
Yes.
That's for times.
Yeah, they used them at Iwo Jima. They actually crashed into a few transport ships,
Yeah,
and that's what the T-14 is. It's just
Yeah.
modified those.
the T-38 here. So this is the T-14 again, except now
That's a bigger gun.
bigger gun and I guess better engines.
Is there a PT boat with just
So-
half a Yamato barrel on it?
Yeah, so
Wait,
that's
what?
a. That's,
You know, just a little PT boat
okay,
carrying a
let's
full
bring that
Yamato
out,
barrel.
I guess. So,
Oh god.
so the type, which ship is this? I just brought out the type, type 38.
Hey,
Yeah. So it's just basically the same thing, except it has an even bigger gun and probably better engines, seemingly, because it has two miniature smokestacks coming out the middle of the thing. Okay, yeah, it definitely is faster.
it has a 25 instead of like a 13.5.
Oh my god, it is the most painfully slow firing thing, but it can do quite a bit of damage.
Well,
25
that's
is pretty
Japanese.
good.
So
I wonder
yeah,
if
it can
those-
hurt. This
Is
thing
that-
can pen a lot of crew. And then tort away.
Does that have the old fire rate of the Japanese guns?
It looks like it.
Looks like it.
That was so cancerous
Yep.
back in the day, trying to use their 7.7s with that fire rate.
Oh my god, the way that gun reciprocates though is pretty interesting.
That's
Ooh,
Wow.
okay, that was unnecessary. It was already dead. I made it very dead.
That boy's gonna have a sore shoulder in the morning.
Yep. No, it's like the. Yeah, that's
it's like, it has like that. It's like he has the little harness thing and it shoots back.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Yep, and of course the sound of angry Japanese captain. Best kind of captain. So, actually, I feel bad for the commander because he has to duck whenever this guy is firing.
Nah, he stands up and he stands up in front of the barrel.
No, he just rides on the barrel.
You bring great dishonor to our boat. Please stand up.
Please stand up in front of the barrel.
I will say the Japanese use fuller
Okay,
looking
Officer Train Man
later on.
says, "Oh my God, they have Kuma." Oh yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, calm down. We'll get to it. Let's see.
Intensify the contact memes really quickly, boys.
Yeah.
They
and the
have
other one.
Kabuki.
Bear with Adhego. I don't know. Like, we're gonna get into Kantai memes the bigger and bigger we go, but I kind of want to look at the small boats. I am all sticky. Damn it. Oh,
I could just
Jesus. Okay,
Did that guy just like scary movie himself?
probably.
If anyone has seen the
So
first,
next up,
if anyone's seen the first one, they'll understand that.
That's
Yeah.
messed up, man.
so next up is the Karote Type 2, which is another boat with a 37mm cannon that looks like it's just breech loaded in the front and a 20mm. So I guess we're gonna test sail every ship because reasons.
I don't
Destroyer
think you really
Hunter.
need to do that with all the little ships.
All the little boats, but it's funny just to see. Honestly, I'm doing it just because I want to see what everybody looks at. Oh my God, look at the guy in the front of the boat. The guy in the front of the boat.
Dude, that must
He's
suck.
doing like that Chad. He's doing like that Chad gun pose here. I wish I could zoom it onto it, but he's doing like the Chad. He's the Chad 37mm gunner in the front.
That thing hanging off the side of the boat's meant to track subs, so that's a sub chaser.
Yeah. That's out.
Don't sound too enthusiastic there, JonMan.
Okay, that 37mm does a lot more than he should. That boat.
Subject to change.
Subject to change, but okay, that would be funny to go around with this thing and just hit people in their torpedo mounts and just watch them explode. 37mm HE does not mess around, according to
Hey,
the
John,
Japanese.
I'll
Because-
say this. Save the Vulcan flask. 'cause
Yeah,
this
we'll save that one
is
for last.
hilarious.
Next up is the ABTI Pioneer, and this is a riverboat. This is definitely a riverboat. I can tell.
Because some little Chinese lady in an ammo factory decides to put 5 more grams of explosives
This
in the
thing
HE
doesn't even.
shells.
Okay, let's look at this for a moment. This thing looks like something out of like I don't know, like the late 1800s into the early 1900s. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. I know the fact. So that's a riverboat. It has two, I think, 7.62s or 50 cal kind of boats. And so it's basically this definitely looks like a riverboat. This is definitely
Yeah,
a
it's a
riverboat.
riverboat. There would be a turret for flamethrowers for shits and gigs.
Yep. So let's see. Let's get it under. Okay, you can stop firing, Mr. Enthusiastic up here in the front.
Oh my God, what is that boat?
It's a riverboat with a
You know
cannon.
they aren't
Really weird.
you know Japan's not fucking around when they put anti-tank guns in a PT boat.
Yeah, they're just putting anti-tank guns. Okay,
Oh.
second time in a row, it hits the torpedo with the 37, and the entire boat explodes.
Dude, the AT, man. You look at the
You
AT
know-
and AT.
That-
You know,
okay, let's look at the
some
armor
little Chinese
too.
lady puts 5 more grams of explosives in the HE shell.
Yep. So it does have not that great armor. So if you're facing other boats with rifle caliber machine guns, this should be fairly scary to deal with at there. But on the other hand, at 2-0, I think there are a lot of ships that can easily pen through those turret armor. So, you know, that's not
Easy,
particular.
Russian 14.5s will go straight through that.
Yep. Oh wait, what? Let's see.
Same with American
Okay, the next
50s.
one, the ABT serial, has. Oh, whoa. Okay, that suddenly changed. That's a dramatic change immediately. That looks a lot more modern now. It looks like a small, like this is like a child's depiction of a miniature battleship. So this thing has.
Well, just wait till we get Yoshino.
What is that?
What the hell is this
The
boat?
fuck is that?
Yeah, this boat just looks so weird, and it has. Okay, this is the first boat in War Thunder to be equipped with heat rounds. For some asinine reason, it has heat
No.
rounds for the
You
57.
dare question the will of the
No.
Emperor?
You dare question the will of the Emperor? Let's entertain. I will entertain this notion here, Gaijin. What does a heat round do to a boat?
Your free trial of happiness ends here.
It says. Okay, let's see what this does. Yonk. Whack.
You know what? It would be cool.
It's not even a ship gun. It's just a fucking anti-tank gun they decided to put on a boat.
What if the heat round is like a guaranteed like fire chance? That'd be cool.
That would be
It definitely
cool.
sets shit on fire. Right off the bat.
I think you got lucky on that shot.
Let's see.
That one
Hits
just
the
went
cruiser.
through.
Yeah.
Hits the cruiser in the back, instantly blows it up.
Oh, it didn't blow up the torpedo. Wee.
I think that only works with like HE.
Yeah, and I will say those 57. I will say though this 57 has more versatility than the Fairmeal D's, all things considered, because I don't know, it actually fires fucking AP shells.
Fires heat. That's even more memeier.
Yeah, that's me. This thing is all meme. The fact that it fires heat rounds is memey as all hell. That is funny,
I
but
Your armor,
I just love
your
that
armor
people
means
on
nothing.
but on the other
Your
hand,
ar-
this thing
Your-
is another riverboat and it's relatively slow. So
Your armor means nothing to my heat
I just
round.
find it funny. It's like a tiny miniature battleship, like a child. This is like a child's drawing of a battleship.
It is.
Oh, that's great.
Emperor here, he told his kid just like.
Finally, the answer to my
Daddy,
prayers: a boat with 4 spare tires. Okay, so that's interesting. So that is a boat with tires, I guess.
That is
And then now next up is the Seihate Model 1. I don't know what's so fancy. And here we go again with them 57 millimeters, boys. And it's a gunboat with a. This is essentially like the This is the prototype that turned into the British Dark Class MGB, except it has a 57 and 220 mils in the back. It is literally the gun calibers were cut in half for both.
It looks like Russian almost.
Almost looks Russian. But yet again, of course, this ship does come equipped with heat rounds.
Why?
Why?
Your
Gaijin.
armor means nothing against my heat round.
Yeah, so it's literally
What
just
armor?
it's literally just a tank cannon that they just, I guess, brought on a board because reasons, which makes sense.
Well, you would use that more for anti-bunker purposes.
Yeah, anti-bunker purposes. Let's see how fast this thing moves, though. Acceleration's kind of slow.
Yes.
It's getting there. It's chugging along. Once again, we have the gunner doing the Chad position. He's in the Chad positioning firing. That is the optimum position for fire here. See how his legs are spread out. He is ready to kill whatever comes in front of him. Here, I didn't load the HE. I didn't load those heat shells. Oh well. Let's see.
Just
Yeah,
dome this PT boat with HE.
Let's see. HE. Let's see what the HE does. Missed. I'm trying to hit the torpedo. Almost there.
Just like explode.
And
Which the gun misfire and just detonate and take out his own ship.
yeah. Hey, there we go. Torpedo hit. And it exploded.
So is HE like a guaranteed like ammo?
Apparently, for some reason, HE is a guaranteed hit. But again, let's aim the
Well,
gun up
I've
high,
hit torpedoes
as this man
before
does.
with,
You see this man? He's doing the squat here. The way he's squatting, he can almost go all the way down. He might as well be a Slav. The way he's this is Slav. These guys, Japanese guys, are almost like Slavs when they're squatting down to fire. Apparently, it
spent
can
too
kill
much
aircraft. So this is
spent too much
another
time in it.
basically riverboat with pretty interesting armament. I guess you would just want to ambush people, but you definitely want to have your teammates nearby you. So
Yeah, no, that's definitely a boat you don't want to be alone in.
yeah, you definitely don't want to be alone in that boat. But it's interesting. At least I like the fact that they're interesting. They're just like, huh, that they were doing something with smaller boats. So that's really cool. That's something I
Now we get to
appreciate.
see, like, the cooler boats.
Yeah, we get to start seeing some of the cooler boats. So next up is the T-51B, which has 3 25mm cannons in the rear, definitely for anti-air work. Considering the way it's set up, it's definitely a
Which like
torpedo
half
boat.
these boats not even exist.
I don't think you really need to take that one out.
You can't real. I wouldn't say they don't exist. It's just there isn't enough information. But the turret gunner just freaked. Those guys just freaked out for a moment.
Whoa. Alright, so you do have control of the turret gunner back already.
Yeah, though I will say, it appears you really okay. At least you can fire from the side. I was concerned that you wouldn't be able to fire from the side of the boat. So at least you are actually capable. It's actually at least the gunners have some kind of shielding, even when they're firing from the side to a point. So that's nice, I guess.
Still, that you got no front forward armament.
Yeah, so it's definitely a torpedo boat.
What the fuck? Those gunners just had a spaz
Yeah,
attack.
they're having a spaz attack again. Dev server, probably something they're gonna want to fix later. So
I'm not seeing Shimakaze levels of torpedoes.
let's see here. Absolutely no reason to send that many torpedoes out onto
I
a
don't care. I
boat.
want a Shimakaze.
That ship's like a Cold War ship.
Yeah, this thing. So this is another kind of, I guess, this is
That
definitely more of, I would sit and wait for a destroyer or a cruiser to appear type of thing.
It's got that many torpedoes on board. The second it gets hit, it will probably detonate.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely not, compared to other nations, this is kind of goes to show why you don't really hear about Japanese small boats. Is because they didn't really have, it appears they didn't really have a strong doctrine compared to other nations for having these
Nah,
smaller
they were
boats.
more of a
Why build
large
small
area.
boats when you can have destroyer in canal protecting?
Yep. Next up,
Pretty much.
I might actually skip over this one because this would, anybody who's played the Codes beta will immediately recognize this boat. This is the Type 11. So it was an American-made patrol boat for the Japanese Self-Defense Force. So, and it's pretty
next boat-
standard. Pretty standard, just 2 Bofors, 4 torpedoes. You've played this one before, you've seen it before, so not much of there. And then the last one is the Chikugo.
with anti-sub launcher on back.
Oh boy.
Oh, hello, who joined?
Oh boy.
It's Gopnik.
Oh, Gopnik return. What is
Yeah,
that?
so we took
What
it
is that
down.
thing? Hold up. Let's get a look at.
Gopnik
What is
said
this
it was
giant
anti-sub.
yellow thing? It looks like a sunfish.
Probably
Is a
movie.
sunfish.
Yeah, it's a
I
giant
don't know what we're
sunfish.
talking about.
We're talking about
Talking about
Japanese,
Japanese
boats.
Probably
Japanese
for
Which
ones.
protecting
ones?
submarines.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably. But
Where is
so
it? I
this
would
is a
have to-
big
Very
boat.
back,
So
so-
this is a fairly modern looking ship, that's for sure, right off the bat.
Yeah, no, this is
Which-
like a Cold War ship.
Yeah,
Which
this is
ship
a
are you
Cold
guys
War
looking
ship.
at?
Oh, the
The ship you said that was like anti-sub.
Chikugo.
Those are anti-submarine rockets.
Yeah, but of course we can't use them in game yet.
It looks like a blob life raft at the.
Yep.
Oh no, that's a sonar buoy.
Yep.
It gets dragged behind the ship at like the bottom of the ocean or behind the ship. Yeah, it's a sonar buoy for subs.
Yep. So
Yeah.
has 6 torpedoes, Mark 46 torpedoes. Interesting. So it has a
Whoa,
3
what the fuck,
has,
Soviet?
a 3-inch gun turret in the
What?
front and a Bofors installation in the back, twin Bofors. So let's see. This might be a pretty interesting ship to use. So bigger than most. Again, by the way, yeah, the rocket installation does not work, unfortunately. So your primary armament is the twin turret, twin 3-inch gun turret in the front. Grim Draco says hello. Hello to you. Let's see. interesting. This boat has like a minimum distance for shooting because I can't shoot over the bow. Weird.
Yeah, Soviet, your mic just like fully shit itself.
What's we talking about?
He's fine.
Basically, a loud noise like came out of nowhere from your mic, and I was like,
So, another smaller ship. It has animated. Definitely has good anti-aircraft. All things considered. Well, against this type of aircraft. Twin Bofors in the rear. Let's see how it does against this boat here.
deja vu. I've never been at this place before.
Around the street.
Come on. God, I'm over. Way over. Still over.
I can see the aiming system for ships
Yep.
is still broken.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know.
It's a
It
bit
needs fine
clunky to say the
adjustment.
best.
Yeah, it needs fine adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I love how that thing has a red barrel at the back
Yeah.
of it. I wonder what would happen if it got hit.
Where, oh,
Massive fire and probably the ship sinking.
that would actually
There we
be
go.
cool.
Sniper
If they did,
elite
like,
levels of sinking a
Yep.
boat.
Where are the torpedo launch? Oh, and the torpedo launchers, I guess, can just go. Wait, why
There's two of them, like on the side.
did I
maybe.
beach the vehicle? Why do I have you
Yes.
leave your vehicle in 1 minute?
Yeah, you beached.
You beached your vehicle.
Congratulations,
Beached the boat.
John.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I didn't really expect to see that, at least as a ship, so that's cool. So, 3.3. So this is definitely with those twin 3-inch guns on board. That's gonna be fairly deadly, I guess, for its tier 3.3. Triple torpedoes everywhere, and now finally, I guess we're gonna skip that. Now finally to start looking at the things that people want to see, which is the beginnings of the actual fleet. So the IJN
The beginning of the end.
Matsuki.
Yep.
Thus begins the weavification of this channel. So the first destroyer is the
Golden,
Mutsuki.
close your eyes and clench your asshole.
Will do. Thanks
so
for the
we got
warning.
the IJN Mitsuki. I type in Mitsuki, and first thing that comes up is Tokyo Ghoul of all things. Goddamn weebs. Anyway, so Japanese
You always
destroyer
gotta put
Mitsuki
Imperial-
is the
you
lead
always gotta
ship,
put IGN end
Yeah.
of everything, John.
but that doesn't mean I won't see Kantai stuff.
No, if you put
Anyway.
Imperial Japanese Navy, it always comes up with the
Yeah.
actual thing.
So, Japanese destroyer Mitsuki is the lead ship of her class of 12 destroyers built during the 1920s. This ship in particular was sunk by American bombers at the Battle of the Eastern Solomons. So, destroyer number 19, apparently. So, Japanese destroyer has 3-inch guns, or not 3-inch. Oh, was it? No, 120 millimeters. Sorry. Now we're going into millimeters again.
Yeah, only British use inch
Yeah.
because they like to think that their stuff is big.
Yep. So, 120 millimeter guns. There are 4 of these turrets all around. Is this ship in World of Warships? Because I actually don't remember if it's in World of Warships.
Which ship?
No,
Okay, so the Mitsuki is unique to War Thunder, I guess.
No,
actually, no. I
No, I'm
think we
thinking of
might
the
have
Mutsu.
a.
that might be the
Mutsu.
Mitsu. Never mind.
Yeah, the Mutsu.
No, I think
Uh,
we have.
glory to
we
the
have
Imperial
like
Navy. Says,
I think we have one of the sister ships or one of
"Long
the.
live His Majesty the Emperor." Okay, so the Mitsuki is the first destroyer. Can't tell which guns do I have control of. Actually, is a better question here. So we're going full sail here. Of course, a good indicator of test. Can I just one-shot this PT boat? Yes. Good.
120, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
So, yes. Very much yes. Yeah, I yeeted that PT boat.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yos, 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 and more yos.
Yes.
Yote.
Yote. So against other
Yos
destroyers.
I think we have I think we have one of the sister ships to that in
Yeah.
World Warships.
We do.
Yeah. So this ship Yeah, okay, so Vlad Melis said yes, yeah, she is. Wow, Officer Trainman says they were outdated by 1941.
No shit, Sherlock.
But of course, the Japanese Navy,
outdated.
their older stuff at least. Let's see, 2 seconds, and I'm missing.
Splash.
Sploosh.
Overshot. Wow.
Overshot.
Boat, it goes sploosh.
It's sploosh. 5 seconds here. Well, okay, shut up the AA guns already. Christ. Okay, I got a hit. Smoke funnel.
Yeah, take out his smoke funnel.
And
Make sure he
proper
doesn't-
Japanese Navy language callouts, so that's nice. Come on. Hit again. Man, I'm hitting high. I hit low. I want to hit like...
Well, if you stopped moving, you would actually
I'm
get
high all the time.
Then you're not range
Silence.
finding your shot every so
Okay,
That,
hit
that's
the
something
bridge.
you need to do. Something you need to do in War Thunder, John, is you need to constantly range find.
Yeah.
What's like super gay.
Eh.
Hey, Gopnik.
Aw.
You had the 2A5, right?
Yeah, why?
Are you in the dev server right now?
Yes, but I have to leave for work in a couple of minutes.
I have the 2A5.
Oh,
So-
okay, good.
They
Or a
finally
helicopter.
fixed the texture bug I was having with the 285.
Thank
Well,
God.
no, I wanted to test it because I think they also meant they changed the armor value.
We'll look
That's
at like
right.
the fine changes in a moment, like after we're done with the Japanese Navy stuff. But
Okay,
yeah,
well
so
I'm gonna
that's
go
the
right
first
now.
destroyer. Okay, stream say goodbye to the Russian.
Goodbye,
I'm,
friend.
Bye,
I'm
Gopnik.
leaving for work. Bye.
No one
Bye,
loved you.
Gomnik. Have fun at the
Soviet,
gulags.
you're a piece of shit.
I know.
Sorry, cat.
I love how he completely missed what I said, but okay.
Okay,
No one
next up on destroyers is Bucky.
Akazu. Oh wait, no, Fubuki. Not
Yeah,
Akazu.
Bucky.
Fubuki tried her best, but got wrecked.
Unfortunately. So IJN Fubuki. Quickly, Fubuki class.
Anime.
Fubuki class destroyers were a class of 24 destroyers, built from 1926 to 1933. It was a new.
Fubuki's actually a special class destroyer.
Yep. Despite how old they were by the time they got into World War II, they were still extremely formidable destroyers to face by that point in time. So here it has 3 turrets with twin 127mm cannons, so 7mm more. Apparently means something. Probably should have done the
Just
flyby.
1mm short than a 128.
Yep, but we're gonna do that flyby because I forgot to do it on the other ship. So your NVIDIA Ansel flyby. Here, there is a nice quaint little table with a book on it, the captain's steering wheel, another table with a lamp on it.
It would have
Inside
been really
the
cool
bridge.
if they added like a picture of Fubuki from Kansai Collection.
Somebody put somebody somewhere on the book. That would be funny, but that would also be
Somewhere
3,
in the
2, 1
queue.
copyright. Yeah.
And you're copyrighted.
You're copyrighted, Gaishin. I don't think they would do that for that reason, very
Oh,
specifically.
well, no one would know unless they had this NVIDIA thing.
Yeah, good old Ansel. You know, those AMD scrubs. You can't do what I can. Nyeh. Say that, and I have
That's a
Ryzen
weird,
2600 processor.
JonMan's using hacks, everyone. He uses this in War Thunder matches to look around buildings.
Yeah, he did.
Like you could.
Wait, really?
No, you can't. You absolutely can't. Otherwise, guys, you would never add that. Somebody would have already written about it if you could do that. I wouldn't be the first person to figure that out. Somebody would have written about it by now. Frig no. That'd be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible if NVIDIA Ansel could be used in a live match. You can't use it while you're in a live match. I think there's like something that
Not
stops
yet.
you from doing. Not yet. I will say there's some weird texturing inside, but that's just a ship.
Well,
in
you're
general.
never supposed to see
Well, maybe
inside.
you should get out of Fubuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, you. Oh, you shut up,
Hey,
so
Sobi, do you ever see those pictures of inside the battleships of the Kansai girls? And it's like
Oh,
the
God.
history channel. Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
reckon you could find one of Fubuki?
flashbacks to high school
I have
fleet.
one of
Don't look that
Shimakaze's.
up. You will save yourself. Oh boy. So, actually, let's look at the modifications here. So, it does get fused HE. Wait, what? Gaijin? Why does it say mortar, but it has a picture of a MG151 or MK108 in the picture? Huh. That's weird.
They don't need to know.
Shh, they don't know. Anyway, let's take out Fubuki to the test range and see what to do. As in, I'm gonna go torpedo attack one of those cruisers. Remember, Tank Mania says, remember they say they would never go beyond Cold War and then we get modern jets and modern tanks and soon jets? Yeah, that's when they didn't know whether or not modern tanks would be that good in the game. Of course, then something called Armored Warfare came out. Then somebody over at Guy's just like, we should do that for an April Fool's. So they got a rough model of a 2A5 and a Type 90. Took assets from their old helicopter game, threw it together, and boom. Everybody fucking loved it. And proved the viability for more modern stuff.
So this is all of your faults that we're going into new territories and we're getting broken
Not
shit.
my
This
fault.
is all your...
Oh, shush
Not
you.
you, it's the community because they really liked the cool as event for an April.
Yeah. However, of course, let's just remember. Let's think about this. We've gotten pretty far with naval. The fact that originally naval was just friggin' pirate ships as an April Fool's.
I miss that. That
As
was
fun as it was. But as fun as it was, it's just like, we now have full-blown, we have full-blown destroyers in the game, which I think is really cool. So, wish I could switch off of the guns and go to the full AA guns. I will say, though, they are making that poor aircraft bleed.
You can manually swap to all
Yeah, I
of
know.
them, but you don't have to.
I just haven't gotten a chance to switch to those, so let's see if I can get the torpedo launchers onto target on that cruiser or onto the destroyer. Okay, so 1, 2. Then we got that down. Now we're gonna start while working on that destroyer. Got a lot of guns.
I can't.
A lot of triple turrets with these 127s. Oh, there goes that plane.
Could have found that.
Let's see, what does this broadside sound like?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was looking
Let's
for,
see.
but for Fubuki.
Ooh,
I don't think there is.
yep. Remember when they said they would not... Or, let's see, you got dual porpoise guns, shoot that plane out of the sky. I should, but
yeah.
I didn't get the fuse shells. We're kind of just driving the ship and seeing what it does, so feels pretty nice, I guess.
The ship does ship things.
Yes, ship
There
does
you
ship
go.
things. Soviet cat, quote. Ship does ship things.
It's a boat. It floats.
It floats.
and it moves.
Interesting that the guns don't necessarily move at the same rate downward. That's interesting. as
I
well.
think it's just a bug or something, like it gets stuck.
Yep. One team. They should add a mission where one team is in ships, one is in aircraft. Ships must escort something. Sounds like a World War mode thing. And they did say at some point they will add naval missions to World War mode. So that is a possibility that we will get ships versus aircraft.
You can guarantee that's gonna happen because there's already been missions in World War
Yeah.
Mode where it's like AA versus planes only.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a thing that can happen.
Getting this destroyer here.
You got every other character survey about Fubuki. I am disappointed with the
Let's see.
anime.
Yeet.
It's impossible to find one of Kabuki.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't
Yep.
exist.
Yeah, but there's fucking 7 million versions of Chimikaze.
There's one of
Oh,
Iowa.
there goes the destroyer. I think the torps finally
And
hit.
the Congo sisters.
Oh god, the Congo sisters.
And
no,
wraps up.
Mutsu's more.
Yeah.
Mutsu's
Well,
more
okay,
of a
Myth
cooler
Boat.
character
Same
than
thing with War
Chris.
Thunder
Looking-
though. They literally copy pasted Birds of Steel. They didn't even copy paste Birds of Steel. Birds of Steel is the base foundation of this entire game. It's not even copy paste. It was the foundation of War Thunder.
Really. The base is IL-2 Sturmovik.
Well, we're talking
They
about
worked off
in
of
general.
Birds of
They
Steel.
worked on Birds of Steel, but Birds of Steel is the direct foundation of War Thunder because there are some aircraft models in this game that are from that game alone. Like it took them so long to change out like the Spitfire Mark V models. Those Spitfire Mark V models before they gave the HD update, they were the friggin' same models that were in like Birds of Steel and then even Birds of Prey on the Xbox 360. So yeah, it's the same game. I think Birds of Steel is the console port.
Yeah.
If I'm right. So yeah, it's the same game except it was on the 360. I've played it. It was interesting, but yeah. Next up is the Yugumo class. Is this a light cruiser?
Sorry to butt in, but I forgot the New World War mode starts today.
Yeah. Or today's mission is
Germany and
so the Yugumo
US.
class destroyer. The group of 19 destroyers built from 1940 to 44. None survived for obvious reasons. This thing has twin turrets or turret tensor, so it has 3 turrets just like Fubuki.
6 guns.
6 guns overall. Should be faster, I think, than the
Should be.
Well, we're gonna
Sounds
take
about
her out. Let's see though. This time around, so we can change it up a little bit. Let's bring out the fused HE shells and do
It's faster by 2 kilometers.
faster by 2 kilometers.
Soviet, by the way, you're posting those in the wrong channel.
What? They're memes.
Yeah, I know, but they're more suited for safe.
True.
Yep. Okay, let's see. So, now with the where is the aircraft? Where is the plane?
Plane EXE has stopped working.
Oh wait.
I don't think you'd be able to hit the plane.
It appears to have better AA armament, seemingly. Probably just
Wait
because
until
those
you get that
25.
Akazu.
Oh god.
The Akazu.
Okay.
That's
Once
right.
again, that's hurt in the rear. What's wrong with you? Why are you on crack? Jesus
it's
Christ.
just the
Oh
party.
my god, that turret is losing its fucking mind.
Crack, man.
Party
Crack,
hardy.
man. Crack,
The
man. It's a
cho-
hell of a drug.
Show, stop fucking being on crack. Okay. Okay, that definitely wiped out that. Well, it feels like it accelerates faster, though. It gets up to speed seemingly faster. Wonder how... Oh, whoa, that was a weird... I saw those... Oh. Oh, that's weird looking. That's a weird looking... That is weird, but also really cool to actually see the propellers spinning through the waves. Doing the destroyer drifto here. Just drifting
Like
this.
all Japanese ships do.
Yep, you gotta do it. Gotta do the deja vu.
Gotta do that while dodging torps.
Yep, while dodging torps. Well, first time on the dev server, you got Gaijin. Oh yeah, by the way, if anybody who is coming late, the reason why I have the access to all the vehicles is because, yeah, as a content creator, I'm given all the vehicles on the dev server. If I want the vehicles on the live server, I have to ask for them. Though, I think I might ask for the premium destroyer. We'll get to that thing in a moment. Just because I want to try it out.
You just have to send the people who work at Gaijin just messages called you'll float too.
Yep. Oh my god. So, this looks like it's going to be fun. Another really nice destroyer. It has really fast firing. It has pretty fast reload, all things considered. It could probably go faster.
This was like the start of like the gun line.
wait.
Yeah,
It's
so,
like an Akazuki.
yeah, that reload speed is pretty good. So let's
See,
take.
I would like Akazuki, but a character in Kentai was really annoying.
Yep.
Which one was her character in Kanto? Because I didn't pay any
Yugumo.
attention.
So you got Yugumo and then Akizuki. So
Which one?
at the end of the destroyer line here is IJN Akizuki. If I pronounce anything wrong, I'm horribly sorry. So the name Akizuki has actually been recently used for Japan's latest destroyer class of ships that were built in 2010. But we're talking about 1942 here, so that's so Akizuki outfitted with 100 millimeter 65 caliber Type 98 cannons mod A for these turrets. So it loses 27 millimeters, but you gain an extra turret for a total of 8 guns. A lot more AA
Thank
armament.
God we don't have Harugumo.
It was her.
The amounts of AA guns on this. Let's
here.
take a look at the AA gun armament here, because there's a lot of 25 millimeters on board.
Oh, that one.
So there's 1 triple installation, 4 in the middle of the friggin' ship. That's oh boy.
Just
it's the beginning of the AA destroyers.
Yeah, AA destroyers.
multi-purpose.
That's a lot of, like, we're approaching freedom levels of gun. No, this is going beyond American. This is like Israeli levels of let's stick as many guns onto a vehicle as possible. Holy hell, the amount of AA on board. And that the guns are also too bad they aren't Bofors, but this is War Thunder. Anything can happen.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when they're multi-purpose 100 mils.
Yep. So let's bring out the extra shells here. So the few shells, HE shells, the Mexican P-47s in this picture. Yes, if you haven't figured that out, those are Mexican P-47 pilots flying over the Philippines because they did ground attack missions in the Philippines. Let's just watch this poor PBY.
That's a lot of gunfire.
Yeah, that's a lot of guns. And now we're switching.
Dodge this.
Oh god, the reload's even faster.
What do you expect? They're 100 mil turrets. They pretty much load in like what, 30 seconds.
Oh.
You go to World Warships. How about 3 seconds?
Oh god, here it comes. Here.
What happened?
What
to that
the
plane?
fuck happened to that PB? Guys, what the fuck is that?
Advanced floating tactics.
New safety feature on PBYs, they can bounce off the ocean.
It's been like that with seaplanes forever.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna see how fast the thing goes. Of course, it doesn't carry AP.
Who needs AP?
The fire
Who
rate.
needs AP? Who needs AP when you have that fire?
HMS Tigor is in trouble now.
Yeah, the Akazuki is.
Oh my god, this is bullshit.
Just imagine if it was Harugumo. If it was a Harugumo, slap an extra 2 turrets on, John.
Yep, that's yeah. Poor Preston, his HMS Tiger was only so good.
In vain.
It's in vain. So
6-second reload. I wonder if a good crew
is
would.
insane. Boom.
You're using airburst rounds. You're not even using.
There's those rounds, but even that. Nope, the reload's still the same for the HE shells. Holy.
Time for an ace crew, boys. Time for an ace.
So that is gonna be pretty friggin' deadly.
Wait, can you go look at its crew and see what its max
what is
its
it?
max reload is? Its
don't know. Let's see.
Because it should say give you like the minimal and the max value.
On the reloads of the guns.
Yeah. Main guns.
Reload on these it's not showing me the reload for the guns.
In like like in the crew section where you like level up the crew and stuff.
Oh, okay. My crews are non-existent for this ship, so with
Go there, go to
gunners,
main armament reload.
Main armament reload when it's maxed out. What is it? So
Is that 15 seconds?
15 seconds, but that doesn't seem right.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's why I'm not fully gonna look at that. And then so Akizuki, these are a completely different class of ships from what is it, IJ and Hiroshima, the premium, the little one that wants to be a battleship. No, okay, done with that. So this is the premium destroyer with still fuck tons of AA on board. So it has 320 the triple turret setup, so similar to
Hey, sorry, I'm about to post something.
yeah, Japanese destroyer.
Let's
It's this is the premium Yugumo class destroyer. So
Not
it has
the one I just posted.
so basically it has more AA, a lot more AA, which is scary. It's all hell. So my suspicions
I'm sorry,
were
man, I can't hear you over all of this AA going off.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's unload. I will say though, the turrets take a bit longer to get on the slew on the target. Okay, let's see if we're gonna try to say that reload speed isn't that great. Oh, hit.
I don't know about that one. I'm gonna post that in heck. Alright.
Stop.
Nah.
God.
All
great.
the
That
content
poor
I mean.
PBY.
So, yeah, that poor PBY. Okay, they need to focus on the aircraft. But so the Kiyoshima has even more AA and quad torpedo launchers.
My face should have been like
Yeah, so let's see if I can get these guns on the target and hit that PBY with the main guns. So
Good question. What is wrong with me?
My face should have been like this.
the PBY is falling out of the sky. It is literally falling out of the. It's doing front flips.
That poor
It is
PBY.
literally doing front flips. Oh, it lost its tail and it's dead. Well, that
This
died a
is
horrible
abuse
death.
against PBYs.
Yep, saved the
Those
whales.
torpedo turrets, though.
Yep. Oh, I missed. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, eat that PT.
Okay, so interesting note: the fuses on the AP shells, when they get near the PT boat, they just explode, and the PT boat takes no damage. Weird.
Wait, so they actually added actual. Oh my God, what is this
Proximity?
madness?
You mean proximity fuses, like they should? Though, of course, I'm surprised the PT boat didn't take any damage from the frag, but that's just me.
That cross. That
Yeah,
cross.
but the amount of 25mm cannons on board, that's if PT boat gets caught in that, that's
It's pretty much dodge this kid.
yeah, dodge this child. Hello, child, it says. Or wait, if destroyers are considered like, you know what? I'm not gonna finish that sentence. That's
Destroyers are lollies, cruisers are in between, and then battleships are the big girls. So PT boats are more of the
non-existent.
yeah, non-existent.
yeah,
Let's leave it at that.
non-existent.
Let's leave it at
We'll
that.
just go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'm not gonna go any further.
Yeah, well, let's not go any further than that. So that's the Kiyoshima. So you can purchase this ship.
They're about the 3-week-old.
Now,
That's
like,
it.
Oh my god, shut up!
shut
Shut up! Okay, now moving on.
Demonetized.
So now we're moving on. So we now have
You now
IJ
owe
and-
John 5 shekels.
5 shekels. Now we have the
He owes
Kuma.
me 5 shekels.
So we now have light cruiser Kuma, which is God damn it! Oh god damn it!
So-
I go type in Kuma on Wikipedia. I don't type in IJN, so I get Kuma from Persona 4, character from Tekken, Kuma Lisa, a character from
What the
Bulgarian
fuck is-
and Russian folklore, Bartholomew
Hey, Survey,
Kuma
go have
from
a
One
look at the
Piece,
thing I just
and
posted.
Pedo Bear.
Pedo Bear.
Pedo Bear.
Pedo Bear be coming for that.
Spiggity swiggity. I'm coming for that. I might
Okay, so moving on now. So IJN Kuma is a group of light
Soviet, I
cruisers
don't
operated by the Imperial
understand.
Japanese. Blah blah blah. God. Okay, so it's a group of 5 light cruisers built by the Japanese from 1917 to 1921. So this ship is technically a World War One and post World War One ship. For the time being, though, I'm
Most of their
assuming
ships.
this one is like, I guess I'm wondering if this ship was modified at some point for 44 or into the 30s and 20s.
Yeah, they all had retrofits.
Yeah, so I wonder if this is the retrofitted version. Anyway, has 140 millimeter cannons on board, 1,400 rounds of those 8 centimeter
the
cannons.
retrofit of that ship literally just got rid of the smokestack and just chucked that many torpedoes on it. It's not even funny.
Yep. So this ship is their first light cruiser. Let's look at the modifications. It does get a semi-armor piercing shell and a fused HE shell, so multi-purpose guns. But I think its AA armament is non-existent. Oof. That's not good. So this should be air quotes a relatively easy ship to attack, but you also do have fused HE shells to attack enemy ships with. Okay. So the zoom in angle is kind of weird on this thing.
Hey, Survey, what do you think about the shit I've posted?
Okay, takes that out.
What about that? What about the second last one?
Oh boy.
The fuck?
So
Just a flying
the Great
Yamato
Japanese
turret.
Empire. So let's see. Destroyer on the move. Really fast
Survey, look at
firing.
the one above
The
that.
shells fly pretty fast, seemingly. No, they're about the same amount of time. So you can expect about at 4,000 to 5,000 meters, about 6 seconds of shell travel across the Japanese.
Yeah, Japan have focused on really high velocity guns.
Yeah.
They might be small caliber, but they're fast.
Yep, and they hit like a fucking truck apparently as well.
Well, that's what velocity does.
So,
'Cause when something stops going about 800 meters a second, you know, when that shit stops all of a sudden,
yep.
all that kinetic energy just gets forced, comes to a complete stop. Something bad's gonna happen.
So we gotta go through. It's hitting this destroyer really hard. So just by sheer gunfire, I have I have 6 guns on target, but dispersion's pretty wide because they're not in dual turrets. So they're kind of like these shells are going all
not
over the place.
upgraded, and
it's
it's
not
without
upgraded.
crew.
It's without crew.
So,
But hey, it's what most players are going to start with.
well, most players would have like 1 or 2 crews completely like maxed out on their pilots.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about tanks.
Look
or
at that
like
torpedo
plenty of-
arming range, though.
Yep.
I'm upset. Where's the Shimakaze?
I don't know. But so that's Kuma. Same. Looks like a fun ship to
Shimakaze.
start with. With the
Shimakaze
amount
next
of
up.
guns on board compared to other starting light cruisers, what do you think of the Kuma?
We need a later version where she just has 8 torpedo tubes on each side.
Nice. Okay, next up is Kako. So one of the two Furitaka class.
It's like the beginning.
So this is
like
the beginning
light.
of it. So this is actually, is it Furitaka and Kako are both heavy cruisers, right?
No, this is
Yeah.
still
Oh.
like
No, they're still
Oh,
light. Sorry, I just thought.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's light until about a Targo.
Yeah. So
Actually, even till a Targo, all their ships are technically light cruisers if you
Yeah.
look at their armor.
So Furitaka and Kako are both heavy cruisers by definition in the game. Kako has 6 20 centimeter guns on board. So wait, 200 millimeter guns on board. She's faster than Furitaka because she doesn't have the additional torpedo bulge.
They're
On
actually
board.
the wrong caliber guns for those gun mounts, but yeah.
Yeah, but hey, they could. Again, I'm not gonna. So 203 millimeter. Okay, yeah, I think that was just they typed it in wrong. So it says 203 millimeter HE. So I think they were supposed to be all 203. So
Wrong gun caliber for the turrets, but yeah.
yep, the big spotlights on it, 4 of them as well. Though,
You
of
know, when
course-
you need to signal the Japanese fleet on where you are because they didn't believe in radio.
Yep.
The idiots.
So 6 cannons on board, though in armored turrets rather than exposed crew turrets. This thing is taking its sweet time. Let's see. Those turrets.
Yeah, those
take a
turrets
while.
are gonna be slaughter.
Oh. Goodbye, small boat. The bouncing Catalina again. In front of us as we get the
I love
guns on
how
the
like
target.
you brought that up. That's been a problem with the game for like ever. Is flying boats just hit the water and ricochet off.
Yep. The reload time on these guns though are excruciating. Holy hell. Like I get it, they're on 203s, but that reload is pretty rough.
It's all to do with the turret mounts. They're not auto-loaded.
Yeah.
They're manually loaded, so that's why they're such a low fire rate and low reload.
Straddling. Yeah, I'm straddling because I'm not hitting.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you didn't
Yeah.
know, those guns for Taco and Taco are 203s.
Yep. Yeah, they're all 203s,
so
but
that-
we know
Which is
already
now
that the
Which is now the
I'll say-
officially the biggest gun in Warthog.
yeah. And yeah, so this thing has 6 of them. So I just want to hear. Let's just hear how thundering this broadside is for a moment. So
I thought we were going to be getting the earlier versions of those guns, you know, Soviet, not the 203s.
ooh,
Yeah, no,
wow,
I mean,
that
yeah,
HE
yeah.
can punch right through a destroyer, very hard. Punches right through. So yeah,
Imagine what AP does.
yeah, AP would probably destroy that destroyer. Destroyer being destroyed. Hyperbole. And see ya, train man. I really wish I didn't miss that. Oh wait, he just left. Bye to that guy. Okay, so
We'll miss you.
yep. So
Bye, train.
now moving on to the second to last ship, IJA Agano, which wow, holy
Kantai.
wow, that
Yeah,
That's
it's a great looking ship. It's amazing.
wow, looks so modern.
You should see her in the Kantai. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Got those turrets though. So, what aircraft are those? Those aren't Zooians, are they?
Maybe. I
Maybe.
don't know.
Big planes. At some point, they will probably become flyable in War Thunder, like separately. But for now, yeah, I don't know. I'm not particular. I wish I had somebody who was super really good with naval history, but this is why we have Wikipedia.
That's what I'm going to go look and see what planes it is.
Yeah, so the Agano class cruisers were light cruisers. They were all named for Japanese rivers. Four of these ships were built. 3 of them were lost. So they were built in when were they built? 1930. Yeah, 1930. And they are also equipped with should be long lance torpedoes, so Type 93s. So those were hurt. Its selection of
They
shells
kinda
include
look like,
152 millimeter cannons now. So smaller caliber, but I'd imagine these turrets are set up for auto loading and stuff.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
ship, though, definitely let's get a good look around on board. So these
That solid gold emblem on the front of the ship.
Yeah.
yeah, the chrysanthemum or You also find those stamped onto pretty much most Japanese small arms from that time period as well.
Is this just
Yeah,
me,
but
or
not
is this
made.
ship more detailed than the Furutaka? Or
It is more
Furutaka?
detailed.
It feels like it has more stuff.
It has more stuff going on.
Yeah,
It's probably a newer model. It could be a newer model, but the thing is, I think for what they said, it takes a long time to model a ship. Well, not just model it, but implementing the model correctly.
Those are
That's why
those planes are
Like, the Furutaka just feels
B7
so bare.
N2s
oh,
with
okay.
floats.
Oh, okay. So B7N2s. Let's go under the deck here to those torpedo launchers. Lots of
They
boats.
look like B7s.
Yep. A lot of big boats here. So this ship class, dang. The detail on this ship is amazing. That's for sure. Especially the captain's bridge and everything. That looks nice. I think it's 3 turrets or 4. I think it's just 3 turrets. Yeah,
Three.
Three twin turrets.
One in the back, two in the front.
Yep.
And this is actually probably the last design of these ships that what actually looks pretty good, because everything after this design just looks fucking terrible.
Yep.
Because for some reason they decide to have one turret, they set it up like the Brooklyn for all reasons. Like, why?
Yep.
It's the stupidest design in the world.
Whoa, the sound of the Japanese 152s.
That's even so-
Boom. It's AA, definitely though. This thing, the AA on this thing is lethal. That's for sure.
It's a joke if you get close enough.
These 25s seem to be saying "fuck you."
Well, just wait
How are
until
we
it's
done,
under.
though?
Just wait until it gets under heavy enemy fire and it's taking lots of damage, and you just fly past it.
Yeah. Let's get these guns on target.
It's just the sound of the KV-2s just double firing.
Let's see. Firing. Okay, they definitely have they seem to have a higher velocity. Better reload speed though. So for 152s, let's see how hard they hit this destroyer, if I can hit it. Oh my god.
Well, stop moving the ship, because you're making it worse for yourself.
Yeah. Because I'm a terrible captain. Okay, let's tab out here. Is this JonTron? No.
JonTron 3.0.
Yep.
If he was
Filipino. Yep. Ooh. That hit a torpedo too. So
And it didn't split the boat in half? What heresy.
heresy. It should at least explode and do severe damage. Okay.
Well, they're 152, so they should
Yeah.
do reasonable damage.
Reasonable damage.
Do they just not get AP, like, C, like, semi-piercing or APHG or anything? That tier?
Seemingly.
They should.
Well, John went over the shells and
Let's
I didn't
see.
see anything.
Eh,
Either I'm blind, or both.
I'm trying to hit the ammo on that destroyer.
blame me if I'm blind.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can't be blind. How else are you not going to step on a snake?
Oh, there we go. Hit the
Or
ammo
spider.
ammunition storage on that destroyer. It's gone.
Hit them.
So. Yeah. That's
Is that a boat next to you? There is a small boat next to your ship.
Excuse
goes,
me,
"Man,
you
that's-"
little shit.
Just his bonsai off the starboard side. It's like, what? Ship just
Goddamn
detonates.
AI. All the turrets start turning maliciously. This AI, it's just like, what is he doing? He's scraping the side of my cruiser. Jerk ass.
He's ruining your paint job.
Yeah, he's ruining my paint job, you jerk.
It's like, we might not be able to hurt the ship, but we can destroy its paint job.
It's now dead.
That poor PT boat.
That PT, how long was he just sitting next to me? That's the question. Oh,
I'll
okay.
have to go back to the recording and figure that out.
Yeah, so that's the Agano there. So Japan looks like it has, yeah, they definitely have a solid ship lineup, that's for sure. Which, you know, is as expected because it's the Japanese Navy. And last but not least, Furitaka, which is the modernization of her class of ships. So getting rid of the, what is it, all those single mounts that Kako had. She now has full-blown twin turrets everywhere. So 203mm auto-loading twin turrets.
Yes.
One of the single mounts is now an aircraft mount instead, or for a scouting plane. And she's also should be slower than Kako because she has the armor, belly armor, as well for anti-torpedo, torpedo belts. So I would imagine
And
torpedoes.
this is where the ship design starts to go out the window because they do that stupid triple turret design in the front.
Yep. Well, it's dual turrets in the front.
Yeah, I know,
at
but
least,
they slap another turret behind that one and set it up like the Brooklyn, and it's just after this
Ew.
design, Japanese ships just go fucking out the window for me.
Yep.
'Cause that is like the most stupid.
It's like a male anglerfish attracted to its mate, says regarding that PT boat. Of course, it should have decent AA armaments. Imagine so. Hail of 25mm fire. I'll say that at this point. Oh.
I guess that's where they win, is because you can reload the 25mm really fast,
Yeah.
and they are pretty decent.
Yeah, it's
So I
War
guess
Thunder,
that's
so
really
the AA gunners are on crack most of the time.
Imagine with an ace crew.
Yep, exactly. So that's why maybe in real life the AA wasn't that great, but in
The War Thunder.
bounce. Oh my god. Here we go again with that shit. I just find it so amusing. I've never noticed this.
Bounce.
Bounce.
Boats.
Okay. That Catalina. Okay. Fire.
When Jesus Christ, my crew experience saved up is 5,850. The fuck have I been
Let's
doing?
see. Get these destroyers on. Four seconds, so it's a bit. So the 203s seem to be going slightly fast. Oh wow, I shot short. Okay, so one thing I definitely noticed: the reload's a lot faster because now it's auto turrets.
I just don't like how bare this ship is. It just
Yep.
looks so barren.
Ooh, that hurt.
Wow.
That hurt pretty hard. Let's see. I overshot? Seriously?
Apparently.
Let's see. Ooh. Suddenly 50 men stopped existing. For whatever reason. They just stopped existing in life.
What 50 men?
Yeah, what 50 men? Oh boy. Okay, fire.
50 men who abandoned ship.
Yep. Let's see. Hit, and yeah, hitting a destroyers are going to not have a good time when they encounter 203 millimeters. Okay, reload. Feels like one set of the turrets is loading faster than the others.
It's because you fire one turret slightly earlier than the rest.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep. So. Also, anybody knows that War Thunder's like Twitter page has like stereotypical Japanese painting. Appearance.
Right.
Sounds about right. And we go. Oh, well, the bridge stopped existing. Anybody in that
What
bridge? Yeah, the bridge.
To install it.
Uninstall it.
That's a nice looking bridge you got there. It'd be a real shame
This
if it
destroyer
stopped existing.
is listing hard to aft. It is taking on. It's taking on more and more water. It's at 50%.
Does that ship get AP rounds or is it still just
We'll
HE?
check after this. Whew.
So I'm
Okay,
33
28% buoyancy. It's going to eventually die. It's only at 7% of its.
33,000 on that and 112
Let's
on
see. One more and. Whoa! It's like that. The sound of that shell. Well, that ship died. Took long enough, though. I'd imagine a better player than I could probably make better use of the destroyer. Of course, when you have tiny small boats running around, you just let your secondaries deal with it. Secondaries, I mean every secondary.
Hey, quick question. What,
So
vehicle
cute.
has
It would be a shame if I just.
What did you say, Steve?
Oh.
Which vehicle game has tow twos?
Yep. So that's the last of the destroyer, or last of the heavy cruisers. So there's 2 heavy cruisers, a light, and 2. So let's review here. So Furitaka is the top end ship at 5.7. They have 2 light cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, 5 destroyers, and then a whole menagerie of small boats and other things. Oh, and of course, finally, last but not least, the other premium boat, which is the PG-02, which is a hydrofoil boat that has one. It has a
boat is an understatement.
It has a 130 millimeter SRBOC decoy system. aka what the fuck is that even?
Smokes.
But it also has a rotary cannon with the it fires APDS. Oh,
20
no.
millimeter. Yeah.
Oh,
3.3 and
no.
it has APDS, boys. True Japanese balance.
In true fashion, this thing will turn. We'll see how fast this is. We're gonna give that destroyer what for? I have. What is that? R12. What is that?
Oh, it's Soviet. The only thing what has tows
That's
is
smoke.
the German
Oh, okay.
helicopter.
So, let's see.
And
So
they're not tortured.
this thing is now going full-blown hydrofoil mode as it streaks across the water. Of course, hydrofoils, the advantage is that they're maneuverable, they're fast, however you become an extremely easy target to hit. But
You know what the problem is with this boat?
that is fucking broken. That is fucking broken. Holy shit.
20 millimeters Vulcan, basically. It's actually 20 millimeter.
And now people are going to say, well, why
homemade
can't I have those APDS shells in my T2?
Exactly.
No.
Not
no.
even the T2,
I want
the
it in my
M163.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
no,
course,
exactly. That's
it's because these APDS FS shells were designed for. Actually, I think the U.S. designed them for intercepting missiles.
exactly what they're for.
I wish the M163 had APDS because then I could actually
No.
kill T-80s.
That is
No, that
Yes!
thing does not
Well,
need that.
this thing
I'm so
is
sick of getting
absolute.
fucked by
So
that
basically,
thing.
everything
Tiger.
there's a good chance there's gonna be a lot of money
Any small
made,
boat, you will
and there's
die.
gonna be a very upset group of players at PTs when they suddenly have all of these things running around. Holy jeez, this thing should not be at that BR. It should be a little bit higher with the BR. My opinion.
Yeah, it's easily like a 4-0.
Yeah, this is a
Just even
4-0.
with APDS.
I actually didn't try the APDS on that. Oh my god, it actually can pin the
It can
destroyer.
pen the
It
side.
can-
So I
Oh,
jammed the gun. Hold up, it's reloading. So let's
Oh no.
Anyone who brought that spent their money wisely.
Yep. However, you do have to get kind of close to your opponent, so that's not necessarily the smartest thing
It's
to
not
do.
even close. You hit them at distance, you'll still be doing damage. You won't be doing effective damage, but you'll still be putting that much lead down range. And they'll be like, fuck that, I ain't going out there.
And your engine gone. Hexagon. Okay, what was the...
I could just use you know what the annoying thing is? I could just basically drill the bridge, drill all your main guns, and basically make you a floating Hulk. Oh my god.
Until both those cannons sniped your ass.
Yep.
Yeah. Most of the time, people forget about the AA can target ships, and they just leave it on like normal AA, and it does absolutely nothing. And then they get killed by like this.
This is the ultimate poke of death here, though. This is like basically
Just imagine like 8 of them.
disable your ship and leave you for the crows, essentially.
That thing is pretty much
A
just...
meme. This is a meme.
Gaijin, why did you have to give this thing APDS belts? The next fucking thing's gonna be, why is the M163 got it? Why is the T2? Why is the T2 not good? If the T2 had APDS, just imagine
Well,
how
I mean,
much more cancer
You're
cells.
also forgetting this is a different gun.
Look, you could have a boarding party on this thing and it just shoot the fuck out of everyone.
The thing is too is this is like it's not actually a Vulcan. This is like their homemade Vulcan.
Yeah, it's
They have
only
the right
Vulcan.
suit. So I think it's
Oh.
probably different.
Oh, the
What's the
artillery fire
difference?
hit the destroyer. Oh, no, I think it's dead now.
You killed it.
Oof.
You see.
The Yamato
you're
shell just
thinking-
hit the...
Oh, and of course, I think this is the most obvious.
God, just imagine if they did specific like artillery for naval, and like the naval artillery for Japan was actually the Yamato.
That'd be
So
really cool.
460 millimeter HE shell.
Also, basically now the Japanese,
no.
even if you don't have a destroyer or stuff, yeah, there's no airspace being flown around when you have this guy flying.
What airspace?
Yeah, what airspace?
Exactly. Yeah, the
I'm
thing
gonna laugh
gonna
if
be
this
in
thing
it.
is more accurate than the M163. I'd be angry.
I think it is more accurate than the M163. It
That's
carries more
dumb.
ammo.
Carries
Yeah, it
more-
actually does. Yeah, it carries
be fair.
3,000 rounds. In M163, you only carry 999 in your first belt, and then 999 in the second belt.
Trying to hit the cat.
Well, to be fair, this is a boat.
Yeah.
Oh.
But look how small it is. Like,
Yeah, it's
John,
a
if you
small
go into
boat.
X-ray view, you can see how small the ammo system is, though. Like, look
Yeah.
at it. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but yeah. So that is the low tier preview, and God, fucking damn, why does this thing exist?
Because
If it gets
Japan
down
has-
tiered, it's gonna be wrecking stuff left and right.
It should be
Still
a
gonna
higher
be
tier.
wrecking stuff at its tier.
Kinda.
Well, you see a flak barge in that thing. The flak barge ain't gonna stand a chance. Unless he hits you first try.
There we go. I shot out the tail of that thing.
Do
It's
boing,
flying upside
do a
down
boing,
now.
do a boing, do a
Boing.
boing, hit the water.
Oh, it kind
Aw,
of boinged
there
a
you
little
go.
bit. Yep. So that is the PGO2. And I guess that's the end of all the things we could look at
Yeah.
for
I mean,
the
there's
Japanese Navy.
there's very minuscule changes after
Yeah.
all that. Like he went through everything.
Yeah, that's basically all the vehicles, but the Japanese Navy is definitely has a very strong showing, and it will definitely give the other four nations right now naval a pretty big headache to deal with.
Yeah.
So,
Like
and
the
rightfully so. And now actually the greatest alternate history scenario ever, Japanese Navy versus German Navy. Who will win? So that can
Probably
happen.
the Japanese.
Probably the Japanese, especially with their destroyers. There's that, what is it? I will say Akizuki and yeah, the Akizuki. Holy Jesus, that reload.
yeah.
For all
That
the
is
people watching this
insane.
and enjoying the stream, we all need to start a petition what says Graf Spee needs to be a destroyer.
Crash Bay needs
Crash
to be
Bay
destroyed.
needs to be a destroyer.
Okay, so let's take a quick gander. I'm gonna just bring
John
this
Horse
up
needs
here.
to be a PT boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's check in here other things that have been changed. First and foremost, hull brake effect has been added to the following vehicles: the ABUL 74, R3 T106, Type 60, Falcon, Striker, Swingfire, Warrior, Bradley, Ontos, Sheridan, BMP-1, SU-100P, and ZSU-57-2. The T.
Oh, that's kind of good for the Warrior and the Bradley.
The
I don't know
T-80B
why.
and T-72A turrets have been redone. Their armor.
Volumetric.
Yeah, volumetric turrets, which I had the T-72A. I've been enjoying this derp of a tank. It's pretty good.
I
There we
don't
go,
like
so-
hull brake being added to the BMP-1 though.
So volumetric turret, instead of just being like all different little sections of armor, when you move across the turret face, it will show you the exact amount of armor that the turret has at that particular point. So it's a pretty beefy turret. That's pretty cool. Anyway, next things in the list here. Armor of the 2A5 turret has been fixed. The size of the cavities for the filler itself, and armor plates have been made more detailed. Existing micrographs in the turret armor have been fixed. So I guess even the turret armor was a bit. Hopefully, I would imagine we'll probably test that at some point. Oh, thank God the skin isn't screwing around. Like I kept having the bug of my skin is literally, it looks like garbage, essentially.
Yeah.
So they made the turret, I guess, not that much of a change, I guess, but they did make a change to the turret, though. Still, 2A5 is still controversial. I'll just leave it at that. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. They fixed how the composite on the hull for the the 2A4 has a weird thing with its hull armor, right? Where it's like two different pieces. Yeah. Okay, I'm just being dumb. Anyway, so after that, a whole bunch of aircraft damage model stuff. It looks like a majority of it is. There's a couple of stuff about the helicopters, like bugs with the helicopters and stuff. The P400 has an increase in rounds in the wing machine guns from 3,000 total to 4,000.
What'd they do to the Leopard 2A5?
They refined the turret armor, like made it a bit more like the appearance of the turret armor plates and stuff. So I guess they refined it a little bit, though don't know what that change exactly means until it goes server. Maximum control range for multiple AGF air-to-ground missiles have been fixed. So the 9M14, 9M17M, P, and 9M120 and TOW-2 missiles. I guess they either have shorter or longer range. Don't know. Yeah, so a whole bunch of changes for
What you
aircraft.
should read.
What?
What you should read is the game mechanics. The very first thing for game mechanics. That is really cool that they finally add that in.
Oh, so game mechanics here: the ability to hit ATGMs whilst in flight, as well as moving torpedoes with a direct hit from weaponry, shells, as well as the effects of explosives have been added. New types of sensors, passive
Does that
optical
mean
systems.
you can shoot a torpedo, it would disappear?
No, we'll blow it up. You can shoot shit out of the sky now.
Nice.
Oh, nice. About fucking time. That shit was annoying. Torpedoes, that doesn't really make sense.
The possibility of launching the AGM-14B missile in lock after launch mode has added. That's interesting.
What did he teach you?
And also this is something that I've known about, and this is something that I know the sound modding community is a bit trepidatious about. There are preparations for a brand new sound engine system to be upgraded in the game. So currently, this system being used in War Thunder is called Fmod Designer. Gaijin is moving to Fmod Studio, and as I've been told by some of the sound modder guys, they're going from having all the files for the sound mods in like these individual different folders into a much more compact and basically less folders. I've heard it would go as far as being one single library for all the sounds in War Thunder, while adding new abilities and sound effects as well, like making current sounds in the game sound better. The sound of like aircraft, shells and stuff being improved, but it also will make it a bigger headache for sound modding, simply because you can't simply just make a aircraft only mod or a guns only mod, or so on and so forth. They've been talking with the guy who actually does the sound design for the game, to my knowledge, but until we see what that until they implement the new system, we won't know exactly what changes and how much more difficult it will be for sound mods. Of course, I'm looking at Google Chrome right now. My mouse is going over this 288. Possibility to create custom user camouflages for ships has been added as patch. Let's see. So there's a bunch of naval stuff has been fixed as well. Patch notes here. I'll probably just copy paste this into the chat here so you guys can look at it later. Oh god, if it would update. More Sky Shark. Here we go. Oh, that's gonna double post. Oops. Anyway, but that's the preliminary patch notes for you guys to look at. And I think I'm gonna cut the server here. That is, the entire stream will be available later, so that you can just watch through and scan through the different vehicles you want to see. But yeah, the big focus of the patch is the Japanese Navy, and they are a formidable navy, for sure. Italy, France got quite a bit of love. Britain got some good stuff. Germany and the USSR didn't get too much, and the US got some surprisingly interesting aircraft, all things considered. So with that, I'm gonna leave you guys here. Been going for about 3 hours 10 minutes. So this stream will be available later. You can watch it immediately, the VOD on Twitch immediately, but it'll be available later on YouTube once it's fully rendered. So it's been me, Prequel, and Soviet Cat, and for a time the Gottmik Czar. He is now at work. He has called the patch gay because he doesn't have his MiG-21. Rip.
Or his Type 90.
Or his Type 90. Yep.
Hey, I would call this patch gay too, but
Wow. But there's a
Hey,
Sky
Alright,
Shark. The fact of the matter is that there is a Sky Shark in this patch, so I'm pretty happy.
What we need to do is we need to fuck with Temperus and say that the Scharnhorst was in there.
You're saying this live while we're on the stream. He could watch the stream later, and he's gonna call you out on it.
He's too fucking lazy for that shit. Plus, he has to wait all the way to the end. Like, that dumbass is gonna watch all the way to the end of the live stream to hear my plans. You'll start watching about halfway through the Japanese stuff.
Oh boy.
If not, call me out, motherfucker.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna be closing up shop here. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully this stuff will get onto a live server soon, coming to you, the Japanese Navy, and a whole bunch of interesting planes and tanks. So I'm gonna sign off here. Hopefully the guide video will be out maybe before the end of next week, as I try to get, I have to now rush to get the footage and then put it all together. So see you guys.